had them all in like a bowl, right? And I was like, man, I'm gonna get these fish to stop. I stuck the whole bowl inside of a microwave for like 30 seconds. I was like, hey, they'll come out and they'll stop flopping. I'm like, what a great idea. So I put it in there. We started.
You are a fucking war criminal.
I take them
You're
out.
Colin Powell fish.
I take them out, and I bring them and I look at them, and their eyes are blown out, dude. Like they're so messed up. It's like I'm not gonna eat this. I can't eat these fish now. It's like they're blown out.
Hello, beautiful people.
Welcome to Bro Taste This.
When we break down wine, we talk about Luis's digestive issues and Juan's political issues. And I'm a great listener.
Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Welcome back to another episode of Bro Taste This, where we talk about wine, food, news, and our childhood trauma. I am Luis Pablo, and joined with me is Juan Legend and Jay Motherfucking May. Today we'll be talking about some Netflix controversy surrounding the most recent Dave Chappelle special, as well as going into the man that was Colin Powell. After that, we'll be getting into some debates regarding some topics anywhere between Netflix versus Hulu and pro-choice versus pro-life. So thank you for joining us for another episode. Gentlemen in the room, my heart rate is at 94.
Jeez.
You okay?
I think so. I got
You
really...
should take off your hoodie.
Yeah, it is kind of warm in here. Excuse me while I take off my hoodie. Yeah, it is a little warm in here.
Anyways, Jamie, how was your week?
No, it was good. It was good. Good week so far. You know, we have this on Hump Day now, so
Yeah.
it's nice. It's nice.
A little more stress-free for you?
No, of course, man.
All right,
Every
feeling
week's great,
better.
every week's
The hoodie's
great.
off.
Good.
What about you?
I had a really good day yesterday because I had my first ever catch on this sounds like
I thought he was about to say
fishing
Tinder.
bullshit Tinder guy, but I caught my first ever fish on a topwater frog, which means nothing to you guys, but
That's kind of cool.
It's a semi-popular fishing technique that's really cool because you just kind of throw it out there and it's floating for a little bit and you twitch it, and suddenly it looks like a green hand kind of comes out of the lake and pulls it down, and it's kind of exciting. You're sitting there watching that, whatever.
That's kind of sick.
But,
I like fishing, bro.
but yeah, so
I like fishing.
that was the first catch I had like that of the whole season. So that was pretty cool. It's again knock off the.
All right, we had a technical difficulty, but we got it all sorted out in the background. Boys, how you feeling today?
Good, good. Good. Me and Juan are planning our next fishing trip.
We should do a fishing trip.
That's right.
Okay, we're gonna
Morale building trip.
Yeah,
Is that what
morale
you're saying?
building, get to know each other.
Team
We have to
building.
sleep out there though. That's my only way that I'll stay.
Why do you want to sleep out there?
on the lake.
Do you want to cuddle with Jorge?
I want to cuddle with both of you. Can I be? Is it possible to be Little Spoon twice?
No.
You want to ride bitch?
Like I want to be the stuffing to your Oreos.
Yeah, so fishing.
So fishing. This guy.
We'll have to do the whole process. You know,
Exactly.
fillet them, cook them.
Oh yeah, though we should do that
That'd be
though.
that'd be a
All
cool thing to film.
Before the end of the summer.
Yeah,
It's fun, dude.
Or-
I mean,
Before winter, yeah, not
Yeah.
before the end of the summer.
we can do it like in a couple of weeks. Just
Yeah.
do it like on a Sunday or something. Go out into the lake.
it's
Beautiful.
taking some practice to learn how to fillet a fish. I've made some mistakes in my time.
What's the worst thing you've done while filleting a fish?
Oh man, so
Have
when
you
I was
fully fucked up fish?
yeah, no, I fully fucked up a fish lice before. I was about like maybe 9 years old. I had my cousin with me, and we're like, oh, we're gonna go fishing. I know how to fillet fish. Like
Yeah.
I did. I wasn't lying. So we caught some fish in this pond. We took them back in like a bucket up to my grandparents' house. We were staying for the weekend. No one was home. They left us
Just
by
you
ourselves.
and
Yeah,
your-
we're like 9, 10 years old. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe like 10, 11. But bring the fish in, and I'm trying to wait it for them a little bit so they die out, so they're not flopping as much.
Yeah.
For the life of me, I could not get these fish to stop moving, and I kept almost cutting myself with a knife. I was like, no, this isn't gonna work.
Bro, I think you're supposed to cut off their head first, no?
Huh?
I think you're supposed to cut off their head so that they don't move.
Yeah, no, you don't have to do that, or we wouldn't do that normally. But I didn't do anything with it, so I was like, oh, what am I gonna do? How do I get these fish to stop flopping?
Oh, I think you
So
told me
yeah,
this
so
story.
I had them all in like a bowl, right? And I was like, man, I'm gonna get these fish to stop. I stuck the whole bowl inside of a microwave for like 30 seconds. I was like, hey, they'll come out and they'll stop flopping. I'm like, what a great idea. So I put it in there. We started.
You are a fucking war criminal.
I take them
You're
out.
the Colin Powell of fish.
I take them out, and I bring them and I look at them, and their eyes are blown out, dude. Like they're so messed up. It's like I'm not gonna eat this. I can't eat these fish now. It's like they're blown out.
God.
And I got scared, and I was like, "Oh no, what am I gonna do with all these fish?" And picture me like running back with a bucket, with trying not to spill water and fish out, like back to a pond, and trying to make sure nobody sees me. And I dump like 8 fish back into a pond, like completely vaporized.
Hope that something else eats them.
And then like,
God.
yeah, and it's a small pond, so like they were just floating.
They were
so
gonna be floating there for
yeah.
a while.
Yeah.
Oh my
So-
goodness.
Fucking
You're
horrible.
a fucking animal. All
But
right.
but I know how to fillet a fish much better now.
Much better now.
What you do is you throw them in the microwave for like 30 seconds. And they
I
will stop.
fucked up. It was
Yeah.
only supposed to be 15.
Oh my god. Well, let's move into today's one. There's no easy transition after that. Today, boys, we are enjoying the 2019 Pinotache from South Africa. You guys know? Have you guys seen District 9 or Chappie?
Oh, I love
I think
District 9.
Chappie.
District 9 is fantastic.
I
Oh
love
my
District
goodness, this smells
Great
like.
director.
9. Elysium is a low-key underrated dystopian film that we're totally headed towards.
This smells like Africa.
Ooh, this smells. What is that?
What does that mean?
Could you explain yourself?
A lot of. What's that smell? It smells a little.
Yeah. What do you see?
You,
what do you
I mean,
taste?
you
I honestly
you,
can't even
You
smell.
tell us what you think.
All right.
It's like. The only way I can describe it is like weird things, like things that aren't edible.
Interesting.
Like, it smells like bacon. I guess that's
It
edible,
does
but like
smell like bacon.
it smells like bacon.
What the hell?
Do you smell it now?
Now
No.
that you say bacon, all I can smell. and
It
taste is
smells
bacon.
like bacon.
I don't smell bacon at all.
That's the only thing it smells like to me.
It's dark. It's good.
It's like
It's medium body.
What,
It's
co-
an acidic finish.
what color would you call it?
It's like woody.
It's like a ruby garnet red.
Yeah, it's very. You can still see through it. It's about
Yeah.
medium body, which describes it well.
Bro, you don't smell bacon? Is it just mine? Smell it.
Dude, I can.
This
Dude,
bacon's
I can
heavy.
definitely.
The
I think it's
bacon's
because
heavy.
I cook bacon in these wine glasses
In the microwave.
in the microwave. Pinotage, a little bit of background about it, was invented in 1925 by a professor of viticulture named Abraham Isaac Perrault, who was also the professor of viticulture of Stellenbosch University. So it's a cross between Pinot Noir and Cinsault, which is the former being well known for its high quality wine and flexible features. I'm not familiar with that grape, but you can definitely tell that this is very. You don't get the sense of Pinot Noir, so that I'm definitely not pronouncing it right. Cinsault. I think that's what's given it its interesting flavor profile.
Its prominence. And
Yeah.
maybe like the Pinot Noir is
Because you get
rounding
that
it out.
Pinot Noir medium body that like a heavy Pinot Noir, like a Pinot Nero would give you. But this is like something complete. I've never had anything like this.
No, bacon with wine.
It's very
Never
earthy,
before.
smoky, almost like tobacco.
What was that last week?
It's good.
the
good.
one, the microphone picked it up. This
good.
is good though. This is a great find.
It's like, dude, I really can't. I can't shake the bacon. It really.
Stop.
It's hard. It's
Does it?
Dude,
it's
I
it's
really get
heavy
that
bacon, like heavy. Like I don't know how you're not smelling it.
But I think maybe some of that is like root, like almost like root, like celery root. You know what I mean? Like kind of like a dry
Yeah.
taste.
Maybe it's like
Almost
the earthy, umami, like meaty taste that you smell, like maybe mushroom.
yeah. Like
Because that's what this particular grape is known
this
for.
is
For very,
like
it does taste very savory.
what's that?
It's like food.
What's that fruit that's like very dark? Pomegranate, kind of like flavors of like dark pomegranate. It's like oddly bitter. Are you gonna eat?
No, just in case.
Just don't eat into the microphone because last week it was horrendous. It picked it up so much.
What was I eating?
You're eating one of the cookies.
Oh, dude, those cookies were great.
They were
good.
fire.
So whoever's
man.
listening and had a problem with them, sorry, but those
They were
cookies were
delicious.
really good.
It was kind of worth it.
It was.
But anyways, about the wine.
Yeah.
Normally this wine drinks a lot more like coffee forward, which is like why it has that name.
Yeah.
But today it's drinking much more like earthy, umami, savory almost.
Yeah.
You
It's got a
can't.
nice. It's got a little bit of a dry finish, but not overwhelming by any means. Really good. Really, really good wine. Let's talk about some of the stories that caught my eyes during the week. Number one. Have you guys seen Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Oh yeah, I love that show.
That show is fantastic. That show that came out in the year, I had to look it up. It came out in the year October 15th, 2000. And I just now watched like the first like 5 episodes.
Really?
What is it?
Curb Your Enthusiasm by Larry David plays kind of a version of himself. He's also the co-creator of Seinfeld along with Jerry Seinfeld.
No, that's right.
And it just got renewed for its 11th season.
It got renewed again?
Yeah, Curb just got renewed.
No.
It's like, damn. Who knew that really funny show that's been going on for 20 years was really funny?
Dude, Larry David is hilarious.
Some of the jokes in there are just like so subtle, but they make me laugh so hard.
Larry David is also low-key fucking hilarious on
savage.
SNL.
Savage.
As like when he was doing his Bernie Sanders impersonations.
Oh, he
They
was
were
the best.
hilarious, bro.
He
They
was
look
the
like
best.
cousins.
Yeah, it was really funny. Another thing that caught my eye as a now Chicago Bears alumni myself, Aaron Rodgers celebrating in front of the Chicago Bears fans saying, "I still own you." Juan Barbosa, how do you feel about that?
It's a little racist.
I agree. He's using his white privilege in all the wrong ways.
No, I loved it.
It was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It was a tight game,
It was cool.
and
It
then
was,
for
like,
him to do that,
like obviously you're gonna be salty because he did it to your team, but it's cool to see a quarterback show some emotion rather than being a robot, and that he was essentially taking it to like a WWE level of dramatics.
he even had like the championship belt
Yeah.
celebration.
Yeah.
Pretty
So
sick.
so even though like he did it to my team,
It's still like, all right,
like the pictures came out where a bunch of fans were flipping him off and flipping him the bird.
yeah.
So like, yeah, I'll give him a pass for reacting, and he's right. He has killed them
time and time again.
Yeah, time and time again. So if Chicago fans don't, and I am one of those Chicago fans, don't want him to be
Succeed.
showing off in front of his stadium, then maybe they should beat him once in a while.
Yeah. Beautiful. Kourtney Kardashian getting engaged to Travis Barker. This was all over my fucking YouTube, my Google News, everything. This was all over the place, and I'm like, who the fuck cares? And I didn't know that he was fully tatted either.
That was probably my
Do you guys know who
reaction.
Travis Barker is?
He
Yeah.
was the drummer for Blink-182,
Mm-hmm.
and now he does like freelance.
He's like a
drumming.
producer. Does
Yeah, he's
a
like
bunch of stuff.
super. He like transcended like the drummer. Like
Yeah.
he's now like a pop culture icon. I didn't know his whole head was tatted up. Like he's fully bald and his entire head is tatted up.
I didn't know that either.
But it's a great way for the Kardashians to stay within the zeitgeist. And congratulations, Kourtney. We wish
Seriously,
you-
it's like her mom
No one cares.
dude. Who the fuck?
planned-
Who the fuck would have thought?
plans these marriages to just you gotta switch.
Dude,
Like,
and
boyfriend
literally,
to
it's
stay
once
relevant.
one
Like, holy
relationship
shit.
ends, it's like the next one is already like, bro. People talk about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. What about the Kardashian real life universe, where these girls are just like bouncing in between guys, staying relevant for
The
absolutely no
Kardashian curse
reason.
is real, man. They usually don't do that well after they date these girls.
I just thought it was interesting. And going into one of the bigger topics of the week we have here is the strike that Netflix and the LGBT community is planning. Netflix's Reed Hastings refused to address the Dave Chappelle controversy and even the trans staff walkout. We have an article here from Newsweek, which will, of course, everything will be in the description down below. Hastings said, "It's a no comment. We are really focused today on what we can do for kids around the country." And after he was asked the question about Dave Chappelle, he said, "Good reporter. I just kept repeating that as well as he was talking about the elephant in the room, in quotes. A transgender employee at Netflix, Tara Field, said she was receiving threats of violence amid the Dave Chappelle controversy, and transgender employees at the streaming giant are planning a walkout. Gentlemen, have you seen the Dave Chappelle latest special?
Yes.
He went kind of hard in the paint when it came to trans people.
I think but at the end he really made it seem like
he's not against
no, he's
LGBT,
not,
yeah.
and he's not against them. So it's hard for me to understand kind of where the outroar is, because I felt like he was being very conscious of their feelings and very like understanding of how they're feeling and how he's explaining himself.
Yeah.
And how he's respecting them. And then I heard about the outroar about him. Like, what?
The big thing he has against, which he has pointed out himself, is he just wishes that black people had the same treatment and quick results of progression that the LGBT community have.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, and he says that in his. I thought. This
I
last
think that's a
special-
really like
Yeah,
smart
that's
critique.
right.
Actually,
That is
of
the
society.
that is the only point he was trying to get across.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't dislike what you guys are doing, but I dislike how it's not working for us. Basically,
Yeah.
what he was saying.
And he said that, and I thought this most recent special wasn't like that offensive. The
wasn't.
previous one was. I thought the previous one he did have a lot of jokes, and then he kind of corrected himself in this one, saying like, he even said it himself. He's like, I'm on stage, I'm a comedian, I don't hate trans people. And it's just interesting that they're posing a walkout, but it kind of, in my opinion, this is kind of like, okay, maybe people felt like this already, and now this is like the end of it.
Yeah.
Because he's been making homophobic and racist jokes all his life, but
Yeah, he has been.
again, that's what
He's been
comedians
making-
do.
And that's
Yeah.
that's the point of it. And
It's on. You can't take jokes out of reference because they're on stage. This is their job. They're supposed to push the boundaries.
and that's the thing that you shouldn't push them to do, especially as their profession. Just because you don't want that to keep going on into the future, where
Right.
less and less comics are less honest and less.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole point of it.
Right.
Is to joke about things that normal people wouldn't
Right.
say.
All
Dude.
three of us are big. I'm sorry for cutting you off. All three of us are pretty big stand-up comedian fans, right?
Yeah.
So we all three understand like what they're saying is a joke.
Yeah.
But Juan, please, before I interrupted.
I was gonna say, as I was reading about this and we were reading the articles, I was also reading like different points of view about it, and I read a critique that I wanted to get like your guys' opinion.
Yeah.
It was essentially like a critique of the modern left and people who kind of like practice this sort of what some people would call cancel culture, right? Essentially, this philosophy, political science type professor wrote a book called "Canceling Comedians While the World Burns" by Ben Burgess, and the dude,
I love that title.
the dude's critique of the modern left was that essentially like you guys feel so powerless because you've been ostracized by the American political
Yeah.
system into essentially like the nowhere land of politics, and so that like you guys feel like you have to take up these social culture war virtue signaling type moral policing because that's kind of the only thing that brings you guys power at this point in time. And I thought that was kind of like
I would
like
say a lot of that is true.
it sounds accurate, you know what I mean?
Yeah, people who don't necessarily have a platform are just like, it's like the righteous police, you know. I think people that come after certain like comedians and go out of their way to do this, like what demons are you hiding?
Yeah.
Like why do you feel the need to go after people who are like doing this for a living? And like you wouldn't go to like your local like open mic and be like, hey, you can't make those jokes, because it's like, who the fuck cares? But they want to do these to these like giant entities and be like, oh, they should be put on a like under the hard light and interrogated. Like when at the end of the day, like these guys have to make jokes, and the reason that some of these jokes get more and more wild is because they need to get a reaction from the audience.
And things are changing, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, jokes could come out of it because it's becoming more prevalent and more outspoken on. Like, of course, you joke about what's coming out and what's around you, you know.
Yeah.
And
that's one of the topics. Like that's what we want to see. Like you wouldn't put on Eddie Murphy Raw and Delirious and be like, yeah, this is stuff we can listen to today. It was at a point in time when some of those jokes were being said, and that's what happens. And in 10 years from now, it'll be like some of the stuff Dave Chappelle said, maybe he can't get away with, But that's what happens with comedy. Like, it's ever changing, and people are telling jokes, and it's a joke for a reason. I recently went to go see Tom Segura, and if you were to take his like last joke that he said and just take that out of context, you'd be like, that is one of the most grotesque things to say. But it's like, he's a fucking comedian. Like, that's what he does.
And it's a joke. It's not anymore. So.
And to be honest, I don't think Netflix gives a fuck, because in the last quarterly report in July.
They shouldn't.
Yeah, I agree. They shouldn't. This is fucking they're printing money right now. July saw Squid Game streamer fail to reach its own outlook, as well as the last quarterly report saw in July the Squid Game streamer failed to reach its own outlook, as well as the Wall Street analysts in an increasingly crowded digital environment. However, Netflix stock closed today at $637, up 1.5%, as investors continue to bet on the streaming's giant upside. So clearly investors don't give a fuck. Netflix doesn't give a fuck. And I'd say the majority doesn't care. It's just a few things that were said. And again, if he was up there saying racist Mexican jokes, as long as they were funny and they were for a point, then I'd be okay with them, to be honest.
Thank you all. Good afternoon. Excuse me. Pardon me. Hey, will you cut the malarkey? Okay, I'm talking. There's a white man talking up here. Silencio. Ungawa. Thank you. Damn it. We, the white delegation, are very proud to announce our pick this year, Colin Powell.
What? Colin Powell is not white. He's not even an eighth white. He's 100% black.
So that was the introduction of Colin Powell to Dave Chappelle's Racial Draft back in 2000 when that show was filmed. Juan, do you want to give us a little bit of insight who Colin Powell was?
All right. Well, before I go into like the prep that we wrote, I'll give you like the explain like I'm five, essentially version of who he is. Essentially, Colin Powell was the gentleman who George W. Bush used reputation to hide behind, because he had very little foreign policy credibility amongst all of our allies and amongst like the military American establishment at the time when he first got into the presidency. So he used Colin Powell's popularity amongst both Democrats and Republicans and hired him as his Secretary of State, and then instructed him to go around the world telling people that Iraq has biological weapons and weapons of mass destruction.
Which we actually have. Oh my God. What he said was so fucked up. So I don't want to cut you off, but...
No, please do. Talk about it.
So he is best known for giving a false testimony to the UN Security Council in 2003 about non-existent weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. So that essentially paved the way for the U.S. invasion and occupation that ended up killing over 1 million Iraqis. And he just died on Monday, which is why we're talking about him, due to a blood cancer and Parkinson's disease, which left him vulnerable to the Corona-19 virus. But not only was the 2003 speech the first time that he falsely alleged against Iraq, in 1991 during the Persian Gulf War, the U.S. bombed Iraq's only baby formula factory. And at the time, General Powell said, and this is quote, "It is not an infant formula factory. It was a biological weapons facility. Of that we are sure," he said. And after it was bombed, the U.S. investigators later confirmed that that was indeed just a baby formula making factory. So
exactly. So
he's a fucking war criminal.
And not only does he have incidents like that in Iraq and the Middle East, he also has incidents in Panama where he was the leader of that theater, where he has a ton of atrocities accredited to him and his troops in Central America. But not only that, he's actually also known for whitewashing the My Lai massacre in Vietnam, where he was essentially a grunt serving at the time, but then later on he had to form a report as a superior, and he said that the people and the soldiers were getting along great, and then further reports later on by other people showed that soldiers killed like 500 villagers or something like that.
I mean, it's what this guy did was awful. So Biden put out a statement just the other day saying he called Powell, and this is quote, "patriot of unmatched honor and dignity, However, he's known a lot differently in other parts of the world, specifically in Iraq. I'm gonna butcher his name. I'm sorry. When he listens to this, Mr. Al-Zadi, we're sorry for the way you pronounce your name. Who was a journalist? He was the journalist who threw a shoe at George W. Bush when he was in office.
This is like one of the OG viral videos, by the way,
Yeah,
at the turn of the century. It's such a great video.
Yeah, so he actually
ducked
said,
that.
yeah, I know. He actually said that he is sorry because he was not tried before his death of his war crimes in Iraq. So I mean, clearly the rest of the world doesn't see him as a patriot. However way you want to see it, I mean, this guy lied under oath, and that's unpermissible in this country.
Exactly, and that's why I wanted to bring it up, because in our media, he's kind of being presented as a lot more like the Joe Biden angle, that he was this patriot. He served like for 30 some years of public service, and like these are the only things that are brought up. You never hear like the footnotes. Oh, he covered up for a massacre in Vietnam. He was a leader of soldiers as they committed massacres in Central America.
Yeah.
He lied about intelligence in the Middle East that led to, huge blunders and theaters that we were still pouring money into not too long ago.
Yeah, no, it's fucking terrible. And like we said, I think I saw your post about him on your Fox News post.
Yeah.
Facebook. You actually said, he died before he was able to be tried of his crimes, which is the most.
But that's kind of like an American tradition. We never tried war
and
criminals.
Now he's being shined in this light when he was actually a fucking horrible person. So, Colin Powell, you piece of garbage. I hope you do not rest well.
Who's that?
I think we're good now.
This is what they're calling October because it has so many strikes all over the country.
Striketober, you're calling it?
It's literally it's not my thing.
Okay.
I've been seeing that used.
All right, here. Let me try to call one of my friends, and if he answers, we'll use him.
You're gonna use him?
Wait, what?
I'm gonna try to call him. We're all gonna use our pickup line, so you guys got 2 seconds to.
Oh hell no!
All right, we'll see. All right, so while
is it a
that's
girl?
ringing, no, it's not a girl.
Oh, then I don't trust it. What is he gonna know?
He's a guy, but he's a guy who's also into other guys, so we get some judgment there.
Who's also into other guys?
Yeah, he's probably not gonna answer.
So I kind of feel like you would use a totally different set of.
Yeah, I would use a completely different setup.
Well,
I'd start with a dick pic.
You're on the podcast. Hey, can you hear me? Hello.
Is it Alan?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Damn it.
Yeah.
You're on the podcast. We're gonna use you for about 2 minutes. Do we have your consent to use you?
Right now?
We are recording this phone call. Do you give us consent to use your phone call?
Alan,
All right.
Alan, I would never use you.
All right, we're using pickup lines. I'm gonna pass you around the room, and you tell us which one you like the most. My go-to is "Hi, I'm Luis."
Hi, I'm Luis. Like for dating?
Yeah. So I smile.
Bro,
I
you're
shake your
not
hand.
Jack Harlow, bro.
I smile. I shake your hand. I say, "Hi, I'm Luis."
You're shaking.
Okay.
Oh, good one.
Nah, hell no. You don't get to skip, dog. You don't get to skip.
No, you don't get to speak.
Tell him the one that you were telling us.
I'm sure you have a lot of guys for your attention all the time, but I just want to let you. I just want to let you know I'm competitive, and that's it.
All right.
Period.
He's got one more. All right, Juan, bring it home.
That's number 2. Okay, so what's number 3?
I'm gonna go with the classic. In a room full of 9s, you're the only 10 I see.
Ooh, that one kind of beats it. All right,
I won.
All right, so, which one do you like the most? Damn, he's indecisive. At least we made him think.
Yeah, at least it wasn't very clear.
I think in a real life situation, if I were like in a bar.
Yeah, you're at a bar, and then you heard all 3 of those pickup lines back to back to back.
No, this isn't a DM.
Oh, you shut the fuck
This
up.
isn't a
You shut
DM.
the
This
fuck
isn't
up.
in person.
Shut your fucking whore mouth.
This isn't a DM.
You shut your
This isn't a
fucking mouth.
DM.
This isn't a
No,
DM.
this isn't a DM.
Oh, no,
this is
no,
at a
no.
bar.
This is a DM. I would have said something different about a bar.
Nah.
I'd probably just like the name. Like, just tell me your name.
Oh, suck my
Mine was a
dick.
DM,
All
bro.
right, Alan,
It's not.
thank you so much.
Look at him.
I'll talk to you
He
after
rigged
this.
it.
Yeah.
He rigged it.
Have a good night.
He rigged it. He rigged it.
All right. Well, I guess that proves it. That proves that I have the most game in the room.
Definitely not.
You should be proud.
It's one.
Final impressions.
You should be proud.
Final impressions of the wine. What do we think? Let's make it quick. I think we all like it, right?
Yeah, I love this one. I think it's
It's got my fucking 5.
It's got a lot of
stars
different things
5
going on.
stars. Yeah.
5 stars, really?
Dude,
Yeah.
this is for its price. It's only like $12 to $15.
yeah, it's literally. I got it for $12 at
So this
Piggly
is
Wiggly.
really, really good.
It's delicious.
I could drink like 4 bottles of this if you're having dinner.
Yeah, I
You don't
think.
like it that much?
No, man.
Explain why. How many stars out of 5 and explain why?
Yeah,
I
which
feel like-
flavors do you not enjoy in it?
I
That, like,
just the meaty flavors. I'm just not. It's not
you're
like
not
It's
into
very
like the
earthy.
it's
earthy umami
no.
stuff.
I like
Very, very
earthy.
earthy.
I like earthy. I like earthy, like from like an Italian wine, like
Like
Like-
Classico?
yeah, like a nice earthy wine. But this is like it's different, dude. It's like
It's like too earthy
it's
for you?
no, it's like greasy. Like it tastes like meat, bro. It tastes like meat.
I mean,
This would be a good
at
wine
least to
pair
me.
with food.
He
At
could-
least to me, yeah. For food, for a
Yeah.
nice dinner, I could definitely drink this again.
Yeah.
But as for like anything else,
Fuck that.
nah.
Shit,
I want to actually like
the
just
main.
by itself, it's kind of
You don't fuck
off-putting.
with
I
it?
feel like.
I was gonna say the main thing that this wine is known for, and that in other years I tasted it much more prominently, is like a mocha, coffee notes and chocolate, dark chocolate.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like low key sad that this year isn't that prominent with that,
Yeah.
because
You don't really get that.
yeah, you don't really get that as much in this, because we're drinking the 2019 vintage.
That is correct.
Yeah, so, but I've drank it in other years where it tastes like almost straight like mocha coffee,
Yeah.
like a mocha espresso. It's
That would have
dope.
been better.
Yeah, but
This is good, but yeah. I
it,
can
it
see
is
that.
different from year to year.
Yeah. fair enough.
So
All right, and then to close this wine talk off, Juan, what do you give it out of 5 stars?
4.5.
4.5. Okay. All right. Beautiful. Into today's main topic, we will be debating.
Buddy. We still got to talk about our
before
Striketober
we talk
updates.
about that, we're going to talk about Striketober. Juan, do you want to tell us what Striketober is and take it away?
Well, throughout the month and throughout, since essentially the end of summer, there's been a lot of different labor activity going on. We've been talking about it for a while.
Yeah.
And so essentially the media's kind of come up with a clever little name for all these, or grouping these strikes together, and they're calling it Striketober.
Yeah.
So we're just going to give a quick little Striketober update and talk about another strike that has officially taken place and is taking place literally less than 2.5 hours from here in Moline, Illinois.
Okay.
The John Deere, or let's go to Iowa, with over 10,000 workers are on strike at John Deere after the United Auto Workers failed to reach an agreement with the company to improve wages. Despite reporting record profits in 2021, John Deere forced employees to go to work overtime, and announced significant cuts to raises and benefits. Chris Larson, a 19-year John Deere worker on strike in Iowa, says profit margins went to shareholders and a 160% salary increase for the CEO. That's in 1 year.
Yeah.
160%. They are projected to make anywhere between 5.7 and 5.9 billion this year, and they gave their investors a 17%
Jesus.
quarterly dividend hike in August.
Yeah.
17% hike to shareholders in 1
Yeah.
month is huge.
Damn, I should invest in John Deere.
You should have.
So that's one of what we're gonna talk about, or just want to give a little update as to another
The
strike
ongoing
that's kind of
strike,
happening locally, and it's the same conditions as in Kellogg's and Nestle, about how these companies are trying to introduce like a tiered benefit system where, oh, you got in a while ago, you get the good stuff. You're just getting in now. You're like 21. Like fuck
Yeah.
you. You're not worth shit. We're gonna pay you whatever we want, and you're not gonna get a pension. You're gonna pay out the ass for your health care. We're gonna give you the cheapest one.
Yeah.
So that's what these guys are striking, because actually the people who are on strike are literally the people with the good benefits already. They're
Yeah.
doing it in solidarity with their younger counterparts who are, they're just saying like, we're going to stick with you guys so that you guys have a better chance, essentially. And
Yeah.
which is kind of cool to see. Not a lot of like bright stories, but
Coming
I think,
out of this.
yeah, but I think it's, you know, cool to see that sort of solidarity, because you're seeing Trump supporters, Biden supporters, young people, old people.
You're seeing everybody
literally,
complain about those.
yeah, all standing, you know, in those unions and supporting each other, which is really cool to see in society for once in a while.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. It's good to see that we can all rally behind one thing for once. So, yeah, thank you for the update. And that will lead us into the main topic today, where we will kind of go around the room asking each other different questions. We have a list created, but we can also go off the top of our head. And there's no real, I guess, right or wrong answers unless you want them to be. And yeah, we'll just kind of talk about our opinions. Some of these can be very simple. Some of these would definitely get some political opinion out of all of us. And no, I'd like to actually go first. The first one on the list here. Would you rather get fucked in the ass by the woman of your dreams, perfectly built, or would you rather fuck a guy in the ass? So that is my question to both of you. And there, you have
How
to
would you
answer
answer it, though?
You have to. That's not my. Whoever asked the
Okay,
question
fair,
is
I
omitted
guess.
from the question.
I guess. Yeah.
But the other two asking the question, being asked the question, have to answer no matter what.
I guess it's gotta be gotta be the first option for me.
You're taking the booty from her?
Yeah, not easily, but
Not easily. I'd be crying. Yeah, I guess that's the answer.
I think it comes down to monetary.
Momentarily?
Monetary? You mean
Not
if there's money
monetary.
involved?
Not monetary.
No, momentarily.
Momentarily.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Momentarily.
Yeah, no, you said it correct. Man, your
like
English
like
keeps getting better
like the
week
guys
after week.
like the guys from the Goonies. What's his name?
Oh.
Mouth. Is that his name? No.
Oh no, who do you mean?
The Asian kid, where he can't say his words.
I don't
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
You
The
mean
Asian
that
kid with all the gadgets.
No, I don't know.
What is this from?
I've never seen the Goonies.
You never seen the Goonies?
I've seen the Goonies, but I
No,
don't
it's the
remember
main
that character.
character. It's the main character, the one with asthma. Not the Asian kid. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's the main character, the guy with the asthma.
I have
What-
no idea.
No. Okay. We'll have to. Maybe if we can clip a clip in from that.
Yeah, we'll throw it in.
Well, you know what I'm talking about. No, but like, yeah, pain right now,
Right.
or traumatizing pain forever.
Right,
So,
that is true.
Yeah,
That is true.
I'd
I
rather
agree.
get the pain right now.
Yeah, I guess that's a good way
That's
to think
true.
about it,
Yeah.
actually, yeah.
All right, Juan, do you want to take the next question, and then we'll just go George?
What about you?
The person asking the question.
No, we should all
is
ask him.
exempt from the question.
No.
Yeah, I would do also.
We can
rather-
ask him
I
if you
would-
want to use a question for that.
I
We
was
can
gonna
use
answer
it.
back at you.
Out of all the questions you could ask.
Go ahead, Juan. What do you got
Yeah,
for us?
Juan, what has Juan got for George and I?
And yourself.
Um,
Don't listen to Luis's dumb rules.
Nothing? You got nothing?
no, I'm reading these. You know what? Do you have a good one right now, Jorge?
No, you have the phone. I don't
Would
remember.
you
Just
rather-
pick any question.
They're all decent.
Smack a puppy or get smacked by your dad in public?
Well, both have happened to me, so it's just which one do I want to relive?
I mean, I've slapped my puppy before.
Yeah,
Not a puppy, he's a dog, I guess.
yeah. Depends on how big the puppy. If the puppy's like an Alaskan Husky, bro, that thing as a puppy, it's already
take
like
it.
100 pounds. He can take it.
he can take.
He pees inside the house. You smack that fucking puppy.
You
Yeah.
dislocate that, Joe.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, bet you won't pee in the fucking house anymore, will you?
Rub his face in it a little bit.
Yeah, and you're like, listen, asshole. All right, this is a shag carpet. Do you know what that means? No, because you're a dog and I'm the owner. Okay, you peed inside the house on the shag carpet. You can't get any value back for that. You can't put that on Facebook Marketplace and then get asked questions all week. Is this still available?
No, it was not a bad idea to get green shag. I'm sure it's not confusing to you.
No, it's not your fault that I bought fake grass and put it in the house.
And use that as carpet.
Yeah.
That's probably how your dad felt about you.
Yeah. George, you got a question?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Do you prefer watching soccer or do you prefer watching basketball?
Over that, I guess soccer.
No, I would also agree soccer.
I mean, this was obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I like watch. Well, a basketball game always has more on the line than a soccer game, because a soccer game can go to a draw. A basketball game can't ever go to a draw. So I mean, there's that. But yeah, would you rather be blind or deaf? That's always an interesting question.
Probably deaf.
I'm scared. Talk like this all the time.
I'm scared of the dark. I'm scared of the dark. I'm scared of the dark.
You fucking ass.
Why? It's just gonna happen to you, no?
Oh man.
I go deaf for all the years. I'll be fine. Juan, you got a question?
Yes. Butts or boobs?
Yo, if she ain't got a booty, she ain't got a chance, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
I think boobs are overrated.
I
It's
agree.
like
And I think girls with boobs have no personality. Every girl that I've met who's got big boobs doesn't have a personality.
I just don't understand what you know.
Like, that
with
is
the-
her personality.
With with the butt, you can grab it. You know, but like, what do you
bite
do?
that shit.
What do you do with?
Because then you're like,
boobs?
oh, every
What you
guy's,
mean, dog? There's plenty of things.
every guy's staring at this
give
girl's
me a few
boobs.
examples.
He's like, well, let me
What
tell
do
you
you
about what
do
I
with
did
them?
yesterday.
I'm not gonna fucking.
What do you mean? Come
Not
on,
gonna
give me a
out
few
his
examples.
I'm not gonna out myself like that, but
What do you mean out yourself? Let's
we
talk
all
about
know
it.
Are
what
you a
do.
boob or a butt guy, Juan?
Let's talk about it.
That's
What's
why it's
wrong?
up for debate.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
That wasn't my question.
Yes, it was.
No,
You gotta
he's
Nah,
answer.
that was
He's
you guys'
exempt.
question.
You're not
He's
exempt from it.
I
This is the whole
am.
point: is to get the good stuff out, not to just
All
hold
right,
it
all right.
back
He's
and
kinda
get all
right
red
about
and
that.
embarrassed. And no, we're here drinking some wine, trying to ask questions.
Are
And
you a butt or a boob guy?
no, tell us why the boobs.
And
What do you
tell
do?
us why.
What do you
You
do
need
with
to
the
tell
boobs?
us
I want to
why.
understand,
Bro,
because maybe I could use that knowledge.
There's literally
maybe
there's
I'm doing it wrong.
I'm just saying, there's literally 1,000 things you can do with, you know.
You can cum on them. You can smack them around. You can leave marks on them. You can bite them around. You know, there's a couple. Of things.
What's your favorite?
I mean, he sounds a little like borderline
what is your
violent,
favorite?
but I was just talking about there's like 1,000 things you can do with your
out of the
mouth.
1,000, what's your favorite thing to do? With
Yeah,
I'm not gonna talk about my favorite, but
Oh my god.
What's the point of the podcast?
What's the point of the podcast? What's the point?
Yeah. No, I'm just a butt guy because, like I said, every person I've met who's got big boobs, just no personality. Like, that's in my opinion. Like, they're either super self-conscious about it or that's like their only personality trait.
Maybe their back fucking hurts.
Well, their back, dude. Yeah, there's
That's
a
true.
lot of
That's the thing.
problems.
That's
you
A
do
lot
hear
of
that a
problems,
lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which you don't realize until you're like an adult and you got someone telling you like, yeah, this is actually like a pain, and you're like, yeah, but that sucks. You don't hear guys with big dicks saying I got ball problems or I got ass problems because I'm carrying this thing around. You deal with it.
Got lower
Fucking
back
deal with it.
problems.
Yeah.
I'm sure it could be a problem though.
I'm sure it definitely is, yeah.
Right.
Dude, and the crazy story I heard about a guy with a big dick is he was playing basketball, and as he went up and like went for like a layup, like it showed way too much, and somebody was like, do you have a fucking boner right now? And they proceeded to beat the shit out of him because they thought he had a boner while he was playing basketball.
What the fuck?
When in reality he just has a naturally big dick, and he got his ass kicked, and then he still had to, you know, go to the locker room, get changed, grab his stuff, and then walk out as he was like had a bloody nose and a black eye.
Is this at your high school or some shit?
No.
No, this wasn't at my high school. It's just a story I heard through the grapevine. But yeah, it's like, damn. You know, it happens. I got another good question.
Jeez.
Would you rather have 4 fingers on your hand or 6?
6.
I'm gonna go with 4.
Why 4?
Like,
I want to be like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle kind of.
yeah, you still get the thumb. The
He's
thumb
got
is included the
3.
whole time.
Nah, man, it's 4, man. I'm
The
putting
thumb
stuff
is
away.
included
Don't
the
they
whole
have 3?
time.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, the thumb is included the whole
Like
time.
that, like that.
Yeah, so you'd be like this. You would essentially look like, yeah, you'd look like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
but they have 3.
And then
have
I just
3.
rebrand.
You'd be a Bart Simpson. All the Simpsons only have 3 fingers.
Shit.
But
Well-
again, they still have a thumb.
I would use that shit to rebrand and base my whole
Dude, I would rather have
personality and
6.
my whole identity off of that. Kind of
Oh,
like a
that would for
superhero.
sure be your personality trait,
What would I call that though? Like,
dude.
The shocker?
Yeah, you'd be have a permanent shocker. Yeah, you'd have a permanent shocker. Like, for sure.
dude, the shocker sounds like a cheap like
And there people would be
one
like,
episode Superman villain or some
He
shit.
is a Spider-Man villain,
It
but
could be.
his power isn't finger blasting women. George, you got a question?
Yeah, let me see what we got here.
Bro, have one loaded up.
Would you rather have your parents access your browsing history or your girlfriend?
My parents. It's not like my browsing history is even bad, but I just know that they won't be able to read in English. So
That's a good cop out,
so
actually.
it would just be like a bunch of articles on how to use what's the best FIFA 22 formation. It would just be a lot of that.
A lot of stuff like that. What about you?
A lot of it, yeah.
Definitely my parents, and probably for similar reasons because they don't speak that much English.
Yeah, so they'd be like, what is this? What the fuck is this?
Yeah, it would kind of go over their heads a little bit.
Oh, for sure, yeah. All right, would you rather be 20 minutes late to every important event or be 2 hours early to everything?
That's annoying.
I would rather be 20 minutes late
I
because
was
that's
gonna
already
say.
me.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with being late, I guess.
Because imagine being 2 hours early to everything.
That's tough because I
Yeah.
really do like
Dude,
being
everything.
early is big for me.
Yeah.
Like your time is already set to 20.
Seems like a waste of time though.
Dude, so it's
If
like
I can do stuff,
2
there,
hours
you're
is a
at
lot.
dinner and you're like, hi, reservations for 8, and they're like, we're just
Why
opening
are
the
you here at
restaurant. Yeah,
6?
and you're like, can I just sit at the bar?
We just opened.
I have a curse from a witch, and now I'm 2 hours behind everybody else. So can you please just let me sit down?
No, walk the fuck out.
Yeah, they'd be like, get the fuck out of here. Would you rather date the hottest person in the world but not be able to have sex with them, or date an ugly person that you can have sex with? Who do we consider the hottest person in the world? Ryan
Damn.
Reynolds? Timothy Chalamet?
Who do we consider it?
Yeah.
Pamela Harris.
Kamala Harris.
AOC.
Um,
Did you say Pamela?
No, Kamala.
It's Kamala.
It's Kamala.
It's Kamala.
Learn how to
bro.
pronounce your words right.
Your Native American names. Jesus Christ.
It's Kamala.
Kamala.
Just like how you call yourself Lewis.
Yo, who's the
America's
Jonas
Sweetheart.
Brothers like Indian wife?
Oh, I don't know her name, but I think she's married to Nick Jonas.
Yeah, like Priya Chopra or some shit like that. Did I
what'd you
just
call me?
invite a?
Yeah, it's Priyanka Chopra. That's
There
what
you
it's
go.
called.
What a name.
Yeah, what a name. God bless her. Allah bless her. Let's be politically correct.
She's from India.
Exactly. Allah bless
I don't
her.
know if that's the same. I don't know if that's the right.
Let's be politically correct.
I don't know if that's the right God.
And, nothing but love in her marriage. Are you guys more fans of Thanksgiving or Christmas now that they're revving up?
Dude, I like Thanksgiving more. I know it's unpopular, but
Over Christmas? I don't think that's
Yeah.
unpopular.
I just feel like, I don't know, especially as I'm getting older, like presents aren't really like things that you really care about.
Dude,
But like,
I couldn't agree more.
which is the only thing that you really care about
Yeah.
during Christmas, anyways, as
Yeah.
a kid. But like Thanksgiving, I feel like better food usually,
Yes.
and it's like the same gathering
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah,
I would even go ahead and throw fucking Halloween and New Year's above Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
yeah, it's a little much.
No,
Dude,
relax, chill out.
I
Chill
love
out.
Halloween.
Yeah, relax.
And New Year's Eve is just like,
Does your family ever
Feels like a
leave though for
fresh
Black
breath.
Friday stuff?
no, we did it one year, and like even my parents were like, "Fuck this." They were like, "We're never doing this again."
Nah, my parents do that shit a lot.
Every
And I'll-
year,
Yeah, a lot of my family does so.
Black Friday shopping.
Yeah,
Dude,
so
it's-
I can't say that new or that Thanksgiving is my favorite
you're more
just
a
for
fan of
that
Christmas?
reason alone, because like
You're more a fan of Christmas.
They don't even
Yeah.
have deals when they do
they,
it, dude. It's
like the
not
years have
deals.
started becoming really bad lately,
Yeah,
the
they're
last
just
few
like,
years.
get 10% off if you show up 2 hours before we open.
But it was like they had that before Black Friday. It
Yeah.
wasn't even anything special.
Dude, you can do most good shopping all year round.
Yeah. Cyber Monday though.
Cyber
I like
Monday I
Cyber
fuck
Monday.
with.
They have some good deals on Cyber
Yeah,
Monday.
but that's just kind of besides the point. But yeah, it's
All right, fellas, I got a few questions for you.
Oh,
Please go
Valentine's
ahead,
Day
throw
is
'em
pretty
out.
cool too.
Would you rather get a text from a one night stand that says I'm pregnant, or have an incurable STD?
The pregnant for sure.
Yeah, they're pregnant because you can just lock your phone and throw it in the lake.
I thought you were gonna say something much worse.
You're just like, I gotta disappear for a while.
Luis is censoring himself
All right, one
right
more,
now.
one more
What he
question.
really meant is that he'd push her down the stairs.
I'd be like, yeah, let's meet up for lunch. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I've been meaning to contact you. I forgot.
Oops, I tripped.
Here, let me teach you some kung fu techniques. This one is called the Krav Maga. Hadouken!
All right, fellas. Would you rather fight a chicken to the death every time you get into a car, or you fight an orangutan to the death once a year, but you get a sword?
Dude, an orangutan will fuck you up. No matter
Yeah,
what.
right. They would fuck you with a
But you
sword,
do that
dude.
once a year with a sword.
Dude, once a year. I don't think it matters.
Versus a chicken every day that you get into a car.
I think after a while that you would look forward to the chicken, and you'd get it like
You
every
get
time
dinner.
you get in the car, every time you have to drive.
Every time you get in the car.
Yeah,
I
you can
just-
get around it.
Yeah. The orangutan is too risky.
And you know, like
Yeah,
coworkers or like not even close friends would be giving you a ride somewhere. You'd be like, all right, just give me a second, and they'd be like, all right, what's this? And then like a chicken. Oh yeah.
They just see feathers coming
Yeah.
out.
You,
out
they
of
would
the
hear a
car.
snap, and then you'd be like, all right, man, do you want to keep this? Like I always ask people, and they're like, why would I want to keep a dead chicken? Like I did it one time, and then they wanted it, so it's kind of courtesy now that I do. And they'd be like, why does it follow you? And you'd be like, I got cursed by a witch, so now it's a thing that happens every time I get in the car, and I'm sorry to infringe on you.
You visit New Orleans once.
Yeah, exactly.
You step into the right or the wrong voodoo
Yeah.
lady, and suddenly.
Yeah. All right. For the last year, would you rather lose all the money that you have earned, or lose all the memories that you've gained this year? In the last year, so far. So the start of 2021.
The money.
What'd you say?
The money.
You'd rather lose the money?
Yeah.
The money or the memories? Did I
No.
do anything memorable this year?
Everything was memorable.
Yeah,
I
there
mean,
was a lot of
everything
memorable
is
stuff.
memorable. Money comes
That's
and
the
goes.
that's the thing though.
Yeah.
Everything is memorable.
Right. Like even like little stuff that you do, like it's
Yeah.
still a part of you. Whereas money, you can always bounce back and work 2 jobs, but you can't like.
Because it's like erasing a whole year of living of your life.
Yeah,
It's
exactly,
like
and
of,
suddenly you're
of
like-
things you've learned. Things
Yeah.
Yeah, I got engaged last year and I visited Mexico, so that was pretty bad.
You did? Did you get engaged in 2021?
Yeah, I mean,
Was
Oh,
that this
congratulations,
year?
bro.
I mean,
Yeah,
I know
this
that was
year,
in the
yeah.
last 12 months,
This
but
year.
was that this year? Yeah.
Mhm.
Hey, congrats, man. I don't think we've ever said congrats on the podcast, but
Yeah.
congrats, man.
I'm glad you do what we're too scared to do.
you're glad I won?
You know you're
Yeah,
a
you're
figure
right.
to us. You did what we're too scared to do.
Yeah, you're really brave, man. We really look
You're
up
strong.
You're scared?
to you. You got a big
Strong.
heart.
Why are
You're
you scared,
strong.
Jorge?
Oh, marriage. Marriage is scary.
Are you
man.
pro marriage or against marriage?
I'm not a-
That's my next question.
I'm not against marriage, but at the same time, it really doesn't benefit the guy. I'm
I
being
don't see how it doesn't though.
I'm being honest. Like it just, in my opinion, it doesn't really benefit the guy. Like it's just like the way it's laid out, the way the laws are laid out, the
I
way
think like if you
the
get
signing
a
a paper.
divorce,
Like I think like
if you get a divorce, it doesn't
I think
benefit the guy.
I think spiritual marriage is pretty cool, but like
What
yeah,
does that mean?
like getting married through church, through God, like but like legal marriage.
Yeah, once you have to sign documents.
that's
that's
kind of messed up.
But I
to
think
me.
that's the cool part.
It's
You go to
kinda-
a townhouse and then you're like, "Hey, I'm married now,"
It's
and they're like,
It's kind of messed up. It's
but
like it's like
after
that.
a while, it's like, I know John Mulaney had a bit about this, but you're like, "Oh, this is my girlfriend," where you're like, "This is my wife. Make way for my wife."
But then it's like also like that.
You're like, "Yeah, I'm married. I
shut
signed
up.
a document. I'm an adult."
Shout out to Sam Schultz, but he's like when he's like he's right. He's like it only benefits the woman. He's like, we get to come together and split our things, but no girl is dumb enough to marry a guy that has less shit than him.
Well, that's why it only benefits a woman in terms of divorce. I think, but I don't think you can discredit someone
you're-
wanting to be with you for the rest of their life.
Yeah, but
I
that's
think that's always a.
but that's a verbal thing, Like if you it's like if you agree to be with someone for the rest of your life, then you agree with them to be the rest of your life,
Yeah, but to be like, we're gonna put this in writing, like it's
regardless of
to an extent.
to write on a piece of paper.
Yeah, no,
take a blood oath.
Yeah, no, I think part of it is cool, but yeah, I think if you get a divorce, but that's why you do a lot of planning and research ahead of it.
Yeah, and plus there's prenups.
Yeah, there's also prenuptial agreements.
There's prenuptial agreements.
So,
but that's
there we
kind of
go.
messed up. And would you sign a prenup agreement?
Well, if she didn't want to leave you, then she shouldn't be worried about the prenup.
Yeah.
What if you want to leave her?
Well, then you better hope you made a
Yeah,
good
how do
prenup.
prenups?
That's what I'm saying. Let's
better get a good lawyer.
let's say you won the lottery.
Okay.
You still have the same
I
girlfriend.
won the lottery tomorrow.
Same girlfriend.
Okay.
Would you sign a prenup?
No. I'd probably give her half and be like, you can do whatever you want. If you want to stay with me, that's cool. If not, that's cool too. Because I also don't really care about money all that much. Like, when I get money, it kind of burns a hole in my pocket. So I'm like, I can't take it with me.
Gotta get rid of it.
So I might as well have a good time while I'm here. Into the next question. Would you rather flip a coin for a chance to win $20 immediately, or you don't flip the coin and you only win $5?
Flip the coin.
Flip the coin, right?
You should have done a bigger number. That way it would have been more intriguing.
No, I think flip the coin, right?
Wait, repeat the question.
Let's
All right,
make bigger numbers.
Flip a coin and you get $100.
$100 million.
$100. That's so much.
$100,000.
$100.
You get $100. If you don't flip the coin, you get $5.
Why wouldn't I flip a coin?
Exactly. There's no upside to not flipping the coin.
Yeah.
Because then you just walk away.
You just asked me, do I want $300? That's what you just asked me.
What about $50 if you don't flip it?
What about a smack in the face? What about you flip the coin and until you win it, you get slapped in the face like Squid Games?
Never seen it.
All right, so you still have yet to see it?
No, never seen.
They play a game. It doesn't have to do with
I'll go
flipping
slapped
coins.
in the face.
But every time he loses, he gets slapped in the face.
That's kind of funny.
So let's say they flip the coin, and every time you lose, you get smacked in the face. So you're just going and going.
I'll take the $100, but I'll
do you
probably
probably
get smacked
in the
once in a
face?
while.
Because he knows how to play with the coin.
I wouldn't mind getting slapped a few times.
All right, let me ask you
Can I
guys
pay
a
him
question.
$100 to slap him in the face?
All right, Jorge.
Yes.
If you had to pick between a successful marriage or career, what would you pick?
Well, we know Jorge's opinion. All right, next question.
No, let him answer.
Yeah, let me answer,
Successful
bro.
marriage or a successful career?
Bro, yeah, let me answer.
All right, yeah, take your time. Really build up the tension.
Go into detail, please.
Tell us why.
Bro, a successful marriage.
Why are you lying to us?
Why?
I'm not lying to you.
Why are you?
I'd rather
lying?
have a successful marriage.
Tell us why.
But why? You're the last 5
because-
minutes were you telling us the opposite.
That I didn't tell you the opposite.
I'm gonna insert a clip here of you saying it doesn't benefit the man.
It doesn't.
So,
It doesn't.
But
I am adamant about that.
If it does, and there's a way for it to work out, it seems like it'd be way more beneficial. It's like saying you'd rather be happy versus having money.
That is kind of a version of that
Like
question.
I'd rather be happy. I'd rather be happy, have a
Yeah.
happy marriage than have money. That's the whole point.
well, it's like Rich Man, Poor Man. Have you guys read that book?
Yeah, Robert Kawasaki.
Yeah,
Rich Dad,
it's
Poor
all
Dad.
about
Kiyosaki.
how like the poor man was way happier than the rich man. So you kind of you got to learn when to pick which one.
Yeah, my parents were reading those books for a while since I grew up, and then when I got older, I kind of realized that whole like style of speaker is like a whole cottage industry. So
Jeez.
Yeah.
I kind of have like a skeptical view of all those motherfuckers now. So
Yeah, they're all fucking Ponzi schemers anyway. So
no,
fuck 'em.
I don't know. It's just good to be skeptical once in a while. Sometimes a lot of them are weird.
What are you skeptical about?
Like, you know, like the Gary V's of the world, like it's almost like
You mean George's Idols?
they have like a certain
Not Gary Vee.
like
Have you seen those
following.
videos? Sorry,
He's
I don't
a
know.
fucking
Keep going.
psychopath.
Keep going.
No, they just have like a certain like hustle culture followers that like are always like sharing their shit but like what is he? I don't know. Like a lot of the times, they're like selling these products and they're really just famous for being good at speaking in front of people rather than like having walked the walk a lot themselves. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like-
What if they don't sell anything? They're
There's-
But they sell their own books and they sell themselves as a speaker and they're like doing all these conferences. And I'm just saying like there's a lot of like charlatans in that style of
100%.
speaking. So it's just good to go into
Yeah.
that like realm with with your guard up a little bit. Like don't fall for every dude.
You
who
should
has a
definitely be
little bit of
skeptical.
charisma.
Yeah, be
Yeah.
skeptical for sure. I think if you get me a microphone in a conference room, I think I could charm a couple people.
Like I think that there's been a shit ton of reports about like Tony Robinson like essentially running a borderline cult because like they have people like slapping each other and like
Who the fuck is Tony Robinson?
that dude who's like 6'7", who's quite literally famous for being the motivational speaker of motivational speakers the last 20 years.
I know you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, but like there's been a shit ton of reports about like, oh yeah, once you buy yourself into the inner circle or whatever, like y'all do some like weird hazing bullshit that like, you know what I mean? So it's you have to end up paying like a couple $1,000s to even get those privileges, only for him to like slap you in the face and like call you a loser.
Yeah, but who doesn't need a slap in the face every now and then?
And for you to be called a loser.
True.
Yeah, dude. I mean, my father did it for 20 years, and then I moved out, so I kind of miss it. I kind of miss it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably why you ask.
No, I get it.
It's not gonna do it
I
once in a
get
while.
the skepticism. I get it.
Yeah,
I
the
get it.
skepticism is
It
always
makes
gonna be
sense.
there.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
You
You
should
should
be
definitely
skeptical.
be skeptical. No one's
100%.
just telling you how to make money for no reason.
Yeah, that's all I'm
100%.
saying. Like
They either want your time or they want your money.
that realm of like self-improvement, not in it sucks, but like sometimes it has those
Yeah,
characters.
and I think it's bred a lot of bro culture that probably shouldn't be there. A lot of guys were like, bro, invest in stocks, invest in fucking crypto, invest in fucking real estate. And it's like, all right, but is there a game plan? Like, do you have a game plan? You know, that's the whole thing. So, all right, back to the next question. Would you rather lose all your teeth or lose a day of your life every time you kiss someone?
That's messed up, man.
What do you mean that's messed up? That's pretty simple. I think that's a simple
I think
question.
I'd lose my
What-
teeth.
Yeah, you'd lose your teeth, bro. What the fuck?
Can I put new like fake
Dude.
teeth in?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, then yeah.
I would lose
Yeah, right.
a day of my life every time I kiss someone.
Don't kiss anyone.
And I just come up to Adrian and just
Wait, buddy, did you ever answer the marriage or career question?
He would just
I'd
stick.
pick marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
You just you just stick your mouth to her and just
I'd be like, we're
Just
never
move it
gonna stop
around.
kissing.
Just
We're
move it
never gonna
around.
Stop kissing.
All right, fellas, would you rather wake up in your underwear at work or wake up in the woods 20 or naked in the woods 20 miles from home?
Do I know I'm 20 miles away from home?
underwear at work.
No, I don't think you do.
You're
You're just in the Canadian wilderness walking to.
that's not 20 miles away from my home.
I know, but let's paint the scene.
Say you lived in Canada.
You're deep in like some pine wood forest.
Well, that's
and-
not fair because like if I was 20 miles away from my current home now,
You got some woods.
Yeah, there's
there's
a lot
some
of woods from
woods,
here.
yeah. But if I knew I was like 20 miles away, then, but bro, waking up naked, you're fucked. Whereas if you wake up in your underwear at work,
It'd probably take you 2 days to walk 20 miles.
yeah, it would.
No,
not 2
it wouldn't
No,
take you
well-
2 days. It'd take you 1 day.
Take
Yeah,
you one
actually,
day,
yeah.
but
Not
you'd
even.
be naked.
Yeah, like 8 hours.
You'd be
10 hours.
naked. So you'd have to only travel at night. And if you get caught, you are fucked.
What do you mean you're in the woods? No one can see you anyway.
But eventually, your house isn't in the woods.
Yeah, you can.
Eventually, you're gonna have to walk out of the Elkhorn woods.
Yeah, eventually you're gonna have to walk out into the public, and God forbid a police officer is patrolling. Then he's like, "Hey boy, what you doing?"
Frank, is that you again?
Whereas if
I
you
told
woke-
you have to wear clothes when you're soliciting
lost my
customers at this
job.
time.
Whereas if you woke up in your underwear at work, I feel like that's a little bit less. That's more explaining to do,
Yeah,
and then you'd probably have to quit or you would get fired.
it's true. It's true.
Why are you in the office so early?
They'd be like, "Why?" Yeah, they'd be like, "What the fuck?"
Wait,
You're-
why are you in your underwear?
Yeah, and everybody who you work with is looking at you, and you're like doing that weird yawning thing that you do when you wake up, and you're like, you know, stretching out. You're like, "Ugh."
You start telling your manager, you see, I was trying to microdose,
And it didn't end well.
and then I just took a regular dose, and I ended up here.
Yeah, waking up in your underwear at work, I don't think you can do that. But I think if you wake up naked in the woods, you can kind of manage it a little bit better. You'd be cold and you'd probably get hurt. But fuck it. You'd be fine. You'd be fine. Fuck it, you'd be fine.
So, would you fellas rather save 3 of your closest family members or 10,000 people you don't know?
Closest family members.
The closest family members.
I'm selfish. I'm
You could
sorry.
even say 1 billion people that are strangers, and I'd be like, yeah, 3 closest family members.
Would you rather walk in on your significant other being intimate with your brother, or would you rather have your significant other walk in on you being intimate with their sister?
Jesus.
Dude, that's a horrible question.
Oh my god.
I don't even think I can answer that.
Yes, you have to.
You have to.
You have to answer. What would you rather? Would you rather watch that or have her watch you?
That's terrible.
Damn. Depends on the level of intimacy.
No, all the way. You guys are having sex.
Oh, dude, yeah, I don't think I can do it. Like, I don't think I could physically be the one doing it.
You'd rather watch?
He's a watcher.
I think in this situation, I'd rather be cucked. I'd rather be cuckolded.
What about you?
Yeah, what about Barbosa?
Jesus.
You gotta answer the question.
Oh my god. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not a fun one, is it?
Yeah, no, it's not.
Does she have a sister?
She has 2? Oh my god. I'm just gonna say.
He's like, which one do I pick?
Yeah, that's what he's debating. He's like, fuck. He's like, between the two of them, who do I pick?
Hell no. Yeah. Yeah, motherfucker Luis is not wrong. You kind of have to just sit there and fucking take it.
You have to
You're
watch.
kind of like, all right. And then you never talk about it again, but it slowly eats at you.
And then you commit
day
suicide.
one day you hang yourself and you leave a note saying, I
Jeez,
could
what?
never get over with.
Just break up with her.
No, dude, you want to be like, no, you fucking lost. This is because of you.
You did this. You killed me.
I'm gonna haunt the shit out of you now.
Wait, what?
I'm gonna haunt the shit out of you.
Which sister do I
Oh
pick?
my god, that is awful.
Killer. Barbosa's a
All right,
killer.
sushi or pasta? Let's tone it down a little bit. Sushi or pasta?
Sushi.
Sushi. I don't even eat pasta. I don't like pasta like that.
I think I'd also pick sushi.
I like pasta, but
I love pasta.
yeah.
I'm not a big pasta guy.
But sushi just it hits a spot.
Sushi is like wild.
I like pasta sauce way more than I like pasta.
Pasta
If
itself.
that makes any sense.
True.
It does make sense.
Like I could put the sauce on anything, like
on like some chicken.
On buttered,
whatever.
crusted bread.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's
Ooh,
good to
even
me.
on garlic bread.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, that's true. Pasta sauce is fire. All right, would you rather be drinking for the rest of your life only sparkling water or regular water?
Regular. I love sparkling. but
regular.
You can't turn away regular. It's old reliable.
Imagine waking up in the morning just having to drink a cold sparkling
That
water.
is
I
what
actually
do.
low key love that.
That is what I do.
Yeah, I actually low key
I
love
would
that.
rather pick sparkling water.
No,
I love sparkling water, but
I love.
it's too hard to drink. Like,
like chugging.
yeah,
No, I disagree. I think you can chug it pretty easily. You just burp more often. I think it's fine. Would you rather know the date of your death or the cause of your death?
cause.
You know the cause.
Yeah,
What if it's like prostate cancer that you got at 22,
perfect. At least I didn't know the date.
and you'd be like, ah, fuck.
The date's pretty messed up.
Knowing the date.
I think I'd rather know the date personally.
I think I would also rather know the date, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, because then you can prepare.
Well,
can start
you don't
to-
want to prepare.
No, but you can.
Like, what if you die? What if you
What if it's
ask
like in
for
a
the
year?
cause and then they tell you car accident? And you're like, you're never gonna want to fucking go in a car.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
Plane accident.
That's
and
a
then you're
good
like,
point.
Fuck, I do have a travel plan next year.
That's a really good point.
Whereas date, yeah, but then the date would be like, you just be having anxiety.
Well, yeah, but at least you get like a
You get
few.
time-
That
you
day
get
would
some
be
time
messed
of
up.
like,
Yeah, I would
You're-
rather know the date.
bro. If you get the date, your ass is essentially a Make-A-Wish kid. You're
Someone's
out
gonna make
here.
the Avengers.
Yeah, you're out here like telling people like
Dude, you'd get to say goodbye to everybody. It'd be so nice.
exactly. You'd be like telling your hot ex-girlfriend or something like, oh hey, like here's a sympathy story, this or that, like, whatever.
Dude, you could do anything. You could smack like the Pope in the face and
Smack
be
an old lady.
yeah,
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna
Send me
die
to jail?
next year. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna die within 8 hours anyway.
Yeah, dude, those last 12 hours, those last like 36 hours, I'd go on a coke bench and just stay up and just
Go to Vegas.
Yeah, fucking rob a bank, see if I can get away with it. But what if they catch me really early and then my
that
last
sucks.
30 hours are spent in jail?
Yeah, that would suck.
Nah, you gotta rob some crypto, some shit that doesn't track so easy to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the bank and be like, give me all your Bitcoin. Venmo me all your
Not the bank, clearly.
No, obviously not, but yeah, I think knowing the date would be kind of cool. You can probably get away with a lot more. Yeah, you would just
What
go
if they tell you like 15 years? You know, you like
Dude,
plan that shit out perfectly.
Dude, that's why military guys get married so early, because they know their death is imminent. It'd be the same thing. You'd be like, all right, well, I got to get married soon. Then I got to start popping out some kids. They got to get to know me a little bit. And then one day I'm going to disappear into the woods, and at least they'll know that I was a decent man. Whereas if you know the start of your, or the way you die, you're kind of fucked.
What's next, George?
Yeah, what's next, George? Good one. That's a good question.
Pancakes or waffles?
Fucking waffles.
Waffles.
That's not even a question in my opinion.
Yeah, I used to be a pancake guy, but as I've gotten
You
older,
like pancakes?
waffles.
Say it right now.
I like pancakes.
You are the fucking devil.
You guys haven't even had good pancakes.
I've had the most amazing pancakes.
Yeah, I've had the
You
most
gotta go to
amazing
Wildberry, which is across the street from the Millennium Park in Chicago. Those are the best pancakes.
This guy thinks everything in Chicago is amazing.
There is
Fuck
a lot
Chicago,
of good stuff
first
in
of all.
Chicago.
What'd you say?
Huh?
He said, fuck Chicago.
I think we heard.
Governor Pritzker's doing a great job. I don't know what you're talking about.
Dude, Illinois is the shittiest state.
Have you been
the
in
whole
more
United States.
states?
Shittiest state.
The entirety of Illinois being grouped
Shittiest
together.
state.
I like Chicago, but you know Wildberry does have the best pancakes
Yeah, I
I've
like
ever had.
Chicago.
And even then, I'm like, I'd rather have waffles.
Chicken and waffles. Can't beat that.
Exactly.
Chicken and waffles. There's no chicken and pancakes.
Exactly.
You
There's
sell.
pancakes and pancakes.
Yeah.
When do you see fucking pancakes getting?
What's a crepe?
Oh, it's not a pancake.
It's
or
not a
waffle.
pancake. That's what it is.
It's not a pancake or a waffle. It's just
It's its own thing.
the way to describe it is a thinner pancake, but it's its own thing.
That's
Thinner
right.
pancake, huh?
A thinner pancake.
Interesting.
But I also don't like crepes.
Huh.
They're like rolled up.
I like crepes, but they're not the same thing as pancakes, and that's not what people expect when you ask for pancakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I want.
They
Yeah,
they want that fluffy shit.
yeah dude. When
They want that drenched in butter, fake maple syrup, corn syrup
Give
shit.
me that IHOP fucking 2-inch thick pancakes. They're gonna give me diarrhea for 4 days. That's what I want. And
Yep.
give me loads of butter. And yes, I would like extra syrup, please. That's what I want. I don't want some bullshit that's like
Diabetes for breakfast, baby.
exactly. Nothing's better than starting your day with 2,000 calories
Damn right.
and 200 grams of carbs.
Which is why I like to excuse me eating a waffle the same way by adding a piece of fried chicken to it.
Exactly.
Damn right. And some hot sauce.
Hot
You
sauce
cover
on
your
waffle.
food groups. Vegetables.
Exactly. You
Vegetables.
Get, exactly. You're all set, dude. You're good.
There's peppers in the hot sauce.
Exactly.
Anyways,
Would you rather be able to read someone's mind or control their mind?
Well, control it.
control.
If you can
Would you?
control it, you can. Well, no, you don't
Yeah.
can't read it.
100%.
Because
control.
if you read their minds, you can then control the next.
Well, you're
next
just
Yeah, I
skipping a
guess.
step. You're just skipping a step. Then you might as well control it from the beginning.
Yeah, but you're out here like some
No,
sort of
but
like
then you're
psychopathic
deciding-
puppet master.
Yeah,
bullshit.
but then you're deciding their actions. You're not deciding your own.
Yeah.
I would rather read everyone's mind.
I wouldn't want to read anybody's mind.
WandaVision.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the premise of that show. Without like, she's out here like creating her own
Controlling
reality
everybody, yeah.
and controlling everybody.
Yeah. Then you would think that everybody around you likes you, when in reality everybody thinks you're a dick.
And everybody hates you and thinks that they're a slave to you.
Yeah, exactly. And then they'd be like, "What just happened?" Well, I made you eat my ass for 30 minutes. I'd be like, "Oh."
I didn't want to know that.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas if you're able to read someone's mind, they're like, I really don't want to eat this guy's ass. And then you'd be like, hey man, just so you know, I don't like getting my ass ate. And they'd be like, alright, well good. I'm glad we're on the same page.
That's not how it would go.
Tell us how it would go.
Yeah, you'd walk into an interview room and be like, man, I really like the Green Bay Packers. I hope this guy likes the Green Bay Packers. Hey, first of all, my name's Luis, and I'm a Green Bay Packer fan. They'd be like, awesome.
All right, fellas, another question.
That's what you do with reading someone's mind.
Yeah. You could charm anyone. You could just manipulate people. You could connive. You'd be Machiavelli in the flesh.
All right, Jorge Luis.
It's not like they're thinking, hey, you know what this guy could really do to impress me? That's
Yes,
not what,
people do think that.
that's not what they're thinking. I've never thought that in my mind.
All right, my guy, answer this
It's
question.
usually
though.
the other way around.
Latino women or white women?
Latino women or white women?
Yeah.
Bro, white ain't right. That's all I'm gonna say.
What about you, Jorge?
Jorge has dated the most white women in the room.
What?
And that's a fact.
What?
I think you said something about, you told me before the podcast that you're like, hey man, I know this is really off topic, but I just want to tell you that Latin women are a lot hairier and I don't like that. That's something that you told me ahead of the podcast. And I was like, that's really weird to say out of random, but all right.
But I agree.
But I understand, man. No, I'm definitely more in a Latin woman. Not, yeah.
It's not.
It's not even like.
It's
but
not even
bro,
the looks.
It's the culture.
Yeah.
It's the culture. Like, who else can I watch Narcos with? Because then the entire time the show's going on,
What's happening?
You're like, what's going on? Why do your parents not know English?
Do you want some pumpkin chai latte?
Why is the
I like
food
pumpkin
always
chai.
spicy? What is that? What's in the
Lattes.
food that makes it taste weird? You're like, it's garlic. You've never had fucking garlic before. In my house, we boil everything. It'd be like that. You know?
Why is this mayo so spicy?
It's sriracha mayo. It's really not. Why are these people gonna give us some forks with our sushi? It'd be a lot of, and you're saving yourself steps, you know. What? So is she getting married? And you're like, no, she's 15 years old. It just looks like a wedding
It's
dress.
a coming of age.
Because people used to hand off their daughters the moment they turned 15.
That's what we're gonna do with our daughter.
Like, seriously?
Hand her off.
Yeah, you want to hand her off, exactly.
Would you say the same thing then, Jorge?
Yeah, no, it's just the culture thing. I don't think I could.
Yeah.
It's maybe I could, but like
She would have to be really down.
yeah, but it's just
She'd have to be like pretty open minded.
she has to be
Yeah, and she'd also have to be like full of the culture.
Yeah.
You know, she'd have to be
Yeah.
seeking a lot.
it's just it's because it's like it's like half your life. I mean,
That's true.
I don't know about you,
majority of
but
your
like
life,
it's
bro.
like
What the fuck?
yeah, it's a big part of your life. Like
But,
your
yeah.
grandparents, your family,
Yeah,
like
and then
and then-
you're also saving her the embarrassment because every time she'd walk into the room, they'd be like, "La abuela." They'd be like, there's Luis and his white girl. You know what I mean? Like you're saving it from her.
There's Luis and Becky.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, bro. And her hair's never done, and she always smells weird.
what?
You know.
Where are you finding Becky?
Jeez, this guy.
All right. Would you rather go back into the future, back to the future, or back to the past, or would you rather go into? There we go.
What did you just say?
Would you rather go?
you said the same thing.
No. Would you rather go into the past or into the future? And you can do it infinite amount of times, but once you start going one way, you have to keep going that way.
What?
So you can go into the past.
Would you rather go
Fucked up.
like be able to travel into the future or into the past?
The past.
the
Future.
past?
I don't know. Shoot.
I'm gonna go future.
I'm also gonna go future. It'd be kind of interesting to go to the dark times and be like, man, everything smells like shit over here.
March Madness.
You would fast forward time to go to March Madness?
No.
Then what did you mean by that statement?
No.
No,
I was-
you
I was-
totally would, you fucking simpleton.
No, you guys were saying future, so
Nah,
I was thinking March
It would
Madness.
be March Madness by future.
Of course.
If you don't listen to future, we ain't got one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather go to future. Because, dude, you could just live forever, theoretically.
What?
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
Because you could just skip time and, like, keep skipping. You would meet your grandkids as grandkids.
Okay, yeah.
And you'd
I
be
guess.
like, I'm a time traveler. And they'd be like, whoa.
You could say that from the same thing in the past.
But they wouldn't believe you.
Why?
What you mean by that, boy? And get back to picking. You see? Because then you would just be going back to more harsh times. But then eventually you get to a point in the future.
Or what if they lied?
What do you mean?
Bro, Jorge has some truths to tell us.
What if the history books aren't accurate, man?
Man.
Bro, what if dinosaurs lived with the pilgrims? Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
What if they I don't know.
I mean, you could eventually.
What if they corral them all like cows and they blew them up?
The dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, all the knowledge and science points to that humans, Homo sapiens, and dinosaurs didn't live on Earth at the same time.
I disagree with that. My pastor said that the Earth is only 6,000 years old. And in my private school, they were teaching us that Jesus designed everything intelligently.
Didn't they say recently
and into Noah's Ark?
Didn't they say something recently like that they found human remains like as old as or close to being as like when dinosaurs were around?
They found that big ass skull, but I don't know if it was during dinosaur times.
I know something that was like way back farther than they thought humans were actually here.
Yeah, but
what do you mean? The Earth started 6,000 years ago.
According to Juan's pastor.
That's what Pastor Jeff said.
All right, would you rather have to be deeply into Catholicism and you have to fake it the whole time? Like, like you are who you are now, but you have to be a member. You have to go to church like 3 times a week. You have to help out. You have to volunteer. Or would you rather be Donald Trump's right-wing candidate to help him run his campaign?
I like Donald Trump.
I guess I'm going to church.
I'll be his homie. I'll be Donald Trump's homie.
You'd be
for how long is the campaign gig?
Every time he runs
forever.
What it only takes.
You could also sabotage him.
His right hand man forever, bro.
You could also you can also like try to sabotage.
You don't like D. Trump?
No. Dude, I would be so annoyed.
You don't like DJT?
I think I'd be annoyed after a while.
Dude, he has like
this is Luis. He's my favorite consultant. Him and I, we go everywhere. He's the best consultant. He's the greatest consultant. It'd be a lot of that all the time.
Right. Bro, you'd have a ton of fun.
Bro, he'd be referring you as like my Latino Luis.
You would have a lot of fun being with Donald Trump.
You'd have a lot of fun, but the whole time you're like, kind of. It's like smoking weed.
Why would you
feel
not
guilty after a while?
Why would you? You feel guilty being around Donald Trump?
I would feel guilty. Yeah.
You think so?
100%.
For what?
I mean, homophobia, racism, a lot of things.
Right, this is Donald Trump, not Dave Chappelle.
He set your ass up.
With Dave Chappelle, you at least know
you
it's
walk
a joke.
right into that.
With DJT, you're like, I don't know if I can be around him for that long.
You don't think so?
Definitely not. But I've also been to church quite a lot. Whereas with DJT, you're kind of like,
DJ.
I can be with them for a while.
Got him.
And he'd be like, hey man, like, do you have the new flyers? And you're like, yeah, my Photoshop is not working. I'll get them printed as soon as I can.
I think he'd forget about it.
And then
for like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, you'd be like, I put it off. But I want you to have dinner with my son and my sexy daughter, who he refers to as sexy. And you'd be like,
she has a great bod.
Look at my daughter. And you'd be like, no, thank you, sir.
Didn't he say that like she had a great rack on Howard Stern?
I don't know. He's
maybe that's just his culture. That's just how he grew up.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you know.
Sure, let's go with that.
I mean, Hispanics do weird things.
Yeah, I guess, but they're not usually calling their daughters hot and how much they wanna, or how much they enjoy their bodies.
Yeah, that's fair.
That was just weird.
Yeah. All right, we'll end on a good one. Would you rather lose all your friends but win the lottery, or you get to keep your friends but make as much money as you make right now for the rest of your life? And the room went quiet.
I would
like lose them like they're dead, or like lose them as like they're not your friends anymore.
No, like they just all stop talking to you, and every time you hit them up, they say, "Please stop talking to me." But you're also a millionaire.
All right, fellas.
I mean, you can make new friends, bro. I mean, I'd be a billionaire.
I was gonna say
you can make new friends, but you know it's all
friends.
because of the money, and they don't really like you. They're just there because they want to also be on the yacht.
That's not true. What if you make rich friends that are already rich?
True, you're probably getting like the sugar baby equivalent of friends.
Yeah, then you'd be around a bunch of people who have trust funds and wear Polo Ralph Lauren.
Not everybody that's rich are trust funds.
But you'd be around. Who else would you want to hang out when you're driving around a Maserati?
Bro, you want to be around people that start from the bottom. Now they're here.
Yeah, I'm sure that's the case.
Wait, before we close it out, death penalty or no death penalty?
I'm pro death penalty.
Well, I'm sorry, y'all interrupted each other.
More
What'd you
death
say?
penalty.
I'm also pro death penalty.
More death penalty.
I don't think we use it as we should.
I
You're
don't
like
think we
the
should.
fucking Roman public. Execute him. Execute him.
No, I'm definitely pro death penalty.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know about death penalty. I
I'm
don't think
100% pro
it's.
Why are you
can't-
pro?
Some people are just sick and can't get fixed. You think pedophiles are
Yeah.
fucking?
I think they deserve to be locked up and figure it out.
But then
like,
then that's not fixing the problem. Then they get out, and then you're like, okay,
Yeah,
now
but-
they're introduced back into society, and then there's gonna
no, like don't give them back into society. Like they
But
should be
then,
locked up forever.
now they're just wasting space and resources in a prison where somebody's making money off them.
I just can't get past the fact that
Does it get
anybody has the right to take someone else's life. I think that's the biggest
I
thing.
can.
I don't
They
think
took-
I don't
they
think anybody
fucking-
I don't think anybody has the right to take anybody's
The
life
people
away.
that murder, the people that
Yeah, they didn't have the right.
rape.
They didn't have the right to take someone else's life
yeah,
either.
exactly. So
But
let's-
you don't have the right to take theirs either.
you eventually
Yeah.
kill enough
You can't.
people that
It's
are
like
killing
fighting a
people.
wrong with a wrong.
I was gonna say I kind of used to sympathize with Luis, and then
Sometimes you
I
got
like
to.
learned about how the real life
No.
shit gets applicated, and
Dude,
how
they don't. It's because they don't get reformed. A lot of the time, like once people go to jail and prison once, there's like a 50% chance they'll go again, and then there's like an 80% chance to go 3 times.
But that's our prison system, and
Exactly. Well, that's what
how
we're
it's
talking
so
about.
bad. But wouldn't like a better alternative to low key kill a shit ton of people? Which, by the way, they get like 10% of those wrong. Like 1 in 10 people that they kill was innocent. And
Yeah. Well, there's always gonna be a problem of innocence.
yeah, but that's a huge fucking number.
10%.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, then that just means we gotta do better research.
I mean, this is like them, police following the techniques that they've developed over the years. So
Yeah.
like I'm just saying, like, yeah, they
Black
get
pussy
a lot of those wrong, and a lot of the times the people who end up on death row are the poorest people, people who don't have access to good representation, which
Yeah.
are usually poor people, and a lot of those people happen to also be minorities.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. I used to sympathize with you, like
Yeah.
mass shooter, shit like that. Like, yeah, throw the book at them, kill them, blah blah.
Yeah. It's
But-
just get rid of them. What's the point of them like surviving?
Yeah, but like the point, or like the way that the system gets implemented in the U.S., it has so many misses that I
Well, then
can't
that's
say
a completely different question. That's not just pro death penalty and against. That's like saying, okay, should we reform our prison system? Yes.
Yeah.
But the way the current situation stands, that's not going to happen because they're privately owned.
Yeah.
So with that being said, people like Ted Bundy and John Wayne Gacy, who were defiling their
victims.
Yeah,
and
they're
had,
victims,
Like,
and
dozens of victims.
exactly, it's like, all right, let's just kill them, give people closure,
Yeah.
and then we're done with it.
Yeah.
Unless this person is like in jail, and because I mean, I know prison's not the best environment, but these people are still alive.
Yeah.
And I mean, Ted Bundy got a woman pregnant while he was in prison. Had we just pressed the fast forward button and got him killed right away, it's like, all right, you don't get to do that. You don't get to have a life.
Yeah.
Like all those people you defiled, all those people you killed. Like I know it's like against the idea of like no one should be able to take someone else's life, but these people already fucked up so many people's.
Yeah, but I mean, if you got them locked up, they're not gonna fuck anybody else's life. Then who cares?
Yeah, but they're fucking animals.
All right.
Well, they're like that for a reason.
Let's move on to the next
Yeah,
question.
they're not gonna get reformed though.
What about
But
how
if
do
you
you guys
can,
feel?
if you can take something through something, then you can take them back out of it.
I disagree. I think once you go through prison, then it's like, then what's the point? They're
Well, that's
just rotting away
prison.
in
If there was a way to get them,
There's
if
different
there's a way to
styles
get
of
them
prison,
better,
though.
if there's a way
Yeah.
to get them better,
I know
then-
there's like
then that'd be
solitary confinement where they're just stuck in a room
if-
forever.
if there's a way to make
No,
them
I
better.
was talking about like the way that other countries have used more like a restorative, like rehab like approach to prison,
Yeah,
where they're like essentially separating them from society,
right.
giving them like mental health treatments, and then like helping them with job training and shit like that. And a lot of the places that practice that shit will do that with even, I don't even know how I feel about it, right? But they'll do that with like
They're
murderers
trying to like,
and
yeah,
shit.
they're trying to reintroduce these people back to society. And it's like, what's the point?
What if we made a different
But
society
it's
for them?
fucking successful.
Again, we're just
dog.
talking about reforming our prison system, which
Well-
we're not. That's not the question.
Well, yeah, you said death penalty or penalty.
Yeah,
And
kind
you're
of.
and you're
It's a part of
but
it.
it's part of it because you're stating that this is the way it's going to be forever, basically.
Well, as of right now, what we have in place isn't perfect. So it's like, would you rather have what we have now or completely reform the prison system? I think we'd all rather reform the prison system. Because, like I said, it's privately owned. People are making money off these.
Yeah.
And so it's like, all
We have the
right.
largest one in the world.
Yeah. So it's.
Most people in prison.
Yeah,
per
it's a
capita.
completely different argument.
More people in China and India who have like 3 times.
You think
It's
that
the same
not a
thing.
different argument?
No, it's the
population
same
we do.
thing.
Like, it's. If you don't have the penalty in place, then it's like, okay, then we should reform our institutes.
If we don't have the penalty in place, then we should.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, we should do it regardless.
Yes, we definitely should.
Yeah.
The fact that we have, I think, like the most people locked up.
Yo, that was a good one. Let me move on to another one and see if it can get good.
All right,
How do you guys feel about abortion? Pro, against?
I'm pro-choice.
I don't know.
That's not taken aside.
Yeah, I mean, let me think
I mean,
about
it's
it for a
okay.
second.
Like,
Let me think about it
just-
for a second.
You can. I mean, it's okay to be.
Yeah, you
It's-
can be indecisive.
Yeah,
It's
like,
it's tough, dude.
I think it's just elaborate on
I
like
think
why you
there's-
feel the way you feel.
It comes to a point where you're like, all right, like once it's like 8 or 7 months, it's like, all right, you kind of signed up for this.
yeah, it's
When there's health altercations, and I don't think that
it
someone else should decide for them.
it's just messed up because it's something that's like it goes back to the freaking prison thing. It's like the same thing. If there was better systems for it, then there wouldn't be a
I
problem.
mean, there's ethical ways to do it. Like if obviously if women get like raped and they
Yeah,
get pregnant, like
that's messed up.
obviously you shouldn't.
Yeah, you
have
shouldn't
a child.
have to keep it.
I think
But
there's also like wealth concerns and like.
But that's the
I
thing.
think the quality of life of the child should be put first and foremost. Like if the kid is gonna be born into poverty and the mom's not gonna take care of him, and then there's people that sign up for adoption the moment the kid is born and they just give him away.
well, that's what I'm saying. If there's a better system for it, then that the kid would actually turn out good. Like they'd have good,
Yeah.
good adoption agency, like everything, in a perfect world.
Yeah.
But like
We don't.
exactly, it's the same. It's the same thing about a prison. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like it's the
there's
exact same conversation.
way
That it's
more
just
variables
it's fucked up
in
now, so that you can't make a decision because
Yeah.
even if you think the kid
Oh.
shouldn't die, you have no choice.
Okay, but let's say with like the current system you have in place right now, how would you decide? on that?
Pro-choice.
Bro, I'd still be. It's just I don't know, man.
Like,
I feel like I just have too much empathy for human life, like how meaningful it is and what it is.
Yeah.
So
in,
you're,
in,
you're
in,
in like the favor of all lives
in,
matter.
in every form, yeah. Like of just the fact that
Okay, so
that
should
nobody
we be fixing
should
our homeless
like,
problem?
that nobody should be taking away their life, huh?
I said, should we be fixing our homeless problem?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like the same thing. It's like, I think once you start considering all lives, then it's like the quality of life that a homeless person have. That could be the child. Like the
And your
child
point
could then
is?
grow up, because if we're talking about being pro-life, you're talking about that kid could eventually grow up to not have a loving family because the mom didn't want them, to not have a father figure because the father didn't want to be in their life. They could grow up to be homeless on the street.
he's
So
making a
suddenly-
point is like he could be treated as how we treat some of the lowest people in society.
Yeah.
He could be the lowest.
Well,
on the totem
then
pole.
it's all a conversation of how the system's set up. It has nothing to do with the choice in itself.
I mean, it kind
It-
of does, like,
it-
the way they're raised.
It has, yeah, but again, it has to do with the system again. If you find someone that's unfit, if you had parents that were unfit, it's a societal thing.
No, I understand it's a societal thing,
Of how
but
if they're born into being poor, then
right.
or people that what I mean,
Or
that,
even even people that
or
do
neglected
have
their
money.
kids, or
people that do have money and then like they have a kid and they don't pay attention to them, and then suddenly you have
yeah, but that's not because they don't. Not, that happens all the time. Not just because they didn't want them. Not necessarily that
Yeah,
they didn't want them.
True.
It has nothing to do with that.
True.
It doesn't just happen to people. People aren't just bad parents to kids that they didn't want. They probably wanted them at the beginning. It just happens.
right.
Wait,
And-
how about this though? Let's present like a semi-realistic hypothetical. Say you guys are in the relationships you are.
Yeah,
Say you're 6 months in.
only 6 months. in?
Only 6 months in.
Yeah.
And your form of contraception fails.
Okay.
So, and obviously she tells you, "Hey, I'm pregnant." What are you going like? What would?
Well, I
How
would
would-
ask her what she wants. That would be my first
What
question.
I guess what if she would? Yeah. What
I
if
would-
she kind of asks you for your input and like asks you to pick a, kind of put your finger on the scale on one side.
I'd be like, I want the kid.
I would ask her what she wants first. I'd be like, what do you want first?
And you just go with what she wants.
Yeah, that's pro-choice. That's what do you want?
Well, what if you want her? What if you want the kid and she didn't want him?
Then that's her decision. I'm not gonna make her carry. Don't click that. I'm not gonna make her carry for 9 months if she doesn't want that.
It's your kid.
I'm not gonna make her raise a child that she doesn't want.
She doesn't have to. She have him given to you after.
Yeah, but she's still got to deal with it for 9 months. She's still got to be
Oh,
the mother in the figure.
9 months of. I understand there's a lot going on with your body, but you have a kid
Right.
for forever.
Right, but I'm not gonna force someone to go through all that and have to be a mom when they don't want it.
Well, then she doesn't have to be a mom.
She does.
She's already a mom.
still
She's
the
pregnant.
So what are
at
you gonna
that
tell
point.
the kid one day when they're like, "What about mom and dad? All I have is 2 dads."
Why do you have
let's
to,
say
why do you
you
have to talk?
find out
Why do you have to
early.
talk to the kid about his mom?
You don't think the kid's gonna ask like, "Hey, all my kids in class have moms. Where's mine?"
Yeah, I mean.
What do you mean? That's a common thing that happens.
And then eventually you're gonna have to be like, "Well, this."
Well,
is
kids
your...
are adopted all the time.
Okay, let's say she doesn't want to be the mom, and then 2 years later she's like, "I do want to be the mom, and I do want my kid." And guess what? When she goes to the court and she's like, "I want my kid back," they don't give a fuck what you do.
This is like way off topic of her having the kid in general. Of you just saying that
well,
makes that has
How
nothing
does that
to do
not
with
make any
it.
sense? Because you're saying that's still your kid. Okay, then you're like, all right, then give it to me afterwards. Have the kid. I'm making you have the kid. She has the kid. She's like,
Okay.
all right, this is your child, your responsibility. I'm out of the picture.
Yeah.
She disappears for 2 years.
Okay.
She goes, meets God, becomes evangelic. She comes back to your life and says,
You're talking about a bunch of hypotheticals. That could happen.
I mean,
that could.
the
I mean, actually,
hypothetical.
that kind of sounds pretty realistic.
That could
That's
happen.
the
Yeah, but that could
hypothetical.
happen in any situation about any subject of any kind of
Again,
debate.
We're going through hypotheticals.
Yeah, but it could happen of any subject of any type of debate of whether it's abortion or if it's of anything. It could
Okay,
be
in
of
what way?
anything. Huh?
In what way?
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm telling you a hypothetical that could realistically happen if you were like, yeah, have the kid and I'll take care of it.
Wait, time out. Let's rein it in. I want to like focus on Jorge's answer a little bit. How would you answer that? Like if your significant other came to you and presented that situation to you?
Well, I think right away. I mean, obviously talking to them, but like the thing is like I don't think it's damaging to it. Let's say if I really wanted the kid, like I value that kid, like
Yeah.
that's heartbreaking. You're thinking about one-sided. It's a
Yeah, that's your
It's a
offspring,
two- it's a-
that's your kid.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
yours just as much. You think it's hers more than it's yours?
Yeah.
You think the kid belongs to her more than it does to you?
I mean, in the eyes of usually the court. So even if she does
Okay.
then decide to have it.
No, just to your belief. Like you think that kid belongs. Forget a court. You think
Yeah,
a
she's
kid.
carrying it for 9 months. She has to deal with all that. Her body is ruined afterwards. She usually has hormonal problems.
You're talking about 9
digestive
months.
issues.
You're talking about 9 months compared to a whole life.
Right, but then she is also dealing with all those issues that come with pregnancy. Like she is never the same.
Okay,
after
you're thinking about
pregnancy.
her. I respect that you have her feelings in mind, but what about yours? Let's say you really wanted a kid. Like, how do you think that would affect you in your life?
Yeah, no,
The
I
fact
think
that
I'd be
you're
the
like,
same.
do you think that you would be affected? You're like, you really want this kid, and you'd be affected by like, you would know for years that being like, man, my kid, I could have had a kid, and he's not alive.
Yeah.
Like that would eat at you. If you
No.
really, not you personally, if you really wanted a kid, that could eat at you just as much as
I
that could,
think if-
just as
if
much as that could eat at her.
Someone who did want a kid, then yeah, then I can see that. But from my point of view, the question is to me. I would say no, I'd be fine.
Yeah. Okay, to you, yeah, that makes sense
Yeah.
for you.
If the question's to me, then I'd be like, no, that because the quality of life that kid's gonna have, I can't give. Like that's why I don't have kids now.
You don't think you could give a kid enough? You don't think you'd be enough?
I would want to. The reason that
Because
I
you-
want to wait till a couple years to have kids is because I want to make sure that I can provide for them what my parents didn't have. Right,
Okay.
and if I'm not able to do that, if I'm not able to pay for their college, if I'm not able to give them a backyard to run in,
Then it's not
I'm
even
not-
worth having him.
yeah, I agree.
That's what you're saying. It's not even worth having him if you can't give him
Correct.
things that you wanted.
No, I wanted that my parents didn't have. My
No,
parents
you're
had a
talking-
third grade situation.
You're talking about things that you wanted, though. Those are things
No,
that you
those are
wanted in your
not
life.
things that I
Well,
wanted.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying
they
the
are things
my-
that you wanted because they're things that you think you were lacking. Is what you're saying.
Not that I didn't. I didn't like
Because
these
there's
things.
there's kids that had much less than that and are way happier than much
yeah,
worse
but now you're
situation.
defining happiness.
Well,
What
that's
is
what you're
happiness?
defining too. You're defining
No, I'm
happiness.
saying-
You're saying that you can't give this kid happiness.
He was just kind of giving you his
Yeah, I'm
boxes
telling
he
you
wants
why
to
my
take.
parents came to this country and gave me what they weren't able to have. So I'd want to support the same.
You know, but you're saying that weren't you explaining a scenario of like that you want to be able to give your kid this,
Yeah,
like this stuff? What's
sure, yeah.
what's wrong with giving him less?
that I know that had I just waited a couple years, that they could have had a better life.
All right, fellas.
But it wouldn't have been the same kid.
Let's press pause because this is gonna stay in the same place. As a finisher here, I think this was really interesting as to see like a little bit of back and forth from both of you. So I want to see.
Yeah, we finally got George to talk more than 2 minutes.
One more question.
We finally got Luis.
Wait, how do you guys? Okay. Black Lives Matter or all lives matter?
Where we get good. I was waiting.
Which statement do you agree with more?
I think the idea behind Black Lives Matter movement got a little misconstrued, because then there was a giant debate on, well, all lives matter. And the idea is, yes, all lives do matter. However, that's not what's being put under the microscope right now. Like, the whole idea behind Black Lives Matter was George Floyd being choked out to death on public cameras and no one doing anything about it. And now this has been an ongoing issue, but it more or less has to do with an issue with police brutality. I mean, in Lake Geneva, a young woman who I used to work with at Grand Geneva got killed by a drunk driver. This is all public record. You can all look at this. There is a cross in between the streets of Aldi and Walmart in Lake Geneva. There's a cross on the side of the road because a young girl was walking home from work and she got killed by a drunk driver who was off duty, who then went back to the state of Illinois.
Who happened to be a police officer, right?
Who was a police officer. Went back to the state of Illinois and didn't really deal with repercussions. He ended up just kind of like
brushing it off. He ended up working but still got paid. He ended up not working but still got paid throughout the whole time, and then had his 401k and his benefits all still in place. So it became more of an issue of like, well, police brutality against black people, and more in general, just people in general. So it's like, yeah. I mean, that was the whole debate. Jorge, how about you?
I agree with Luis. It's very, very similar in that. Yeah, but it's one of those things where, this is the reason why this is supposed to be put in light at the moment. Obviously, all lives matter. You know, like he was saying, it's the exact same thing. Obviously, everyone's life matters, but this is what's put on light right now for a reason. And then you just kind of need to look at that and kind of support it. I feel like. Yeah,
Black Lives Matter. It's not saying Black Lives Matter more.
Yeah.
It's just saying Black Lives Matter. Like, we need to literally shine a light on this.
It's just pettiness. I feel like where it comes from is it's pettiness.
From the other side?
From the other side, yeah. It's just pettiness. It's not the lack that they don't understand it. It's the lack that they don't want.
Totally right.
They don't want to understand.
Totally right.
Like it's an easy concept. They understand what you're coming from, but they don't want to. They don't want to accept. You don't want to accept it.
I've heard of this like almost describing of some conservatives before. It almost becomes like the cruelty is the point, like them not understanding you and them pretending that like
it doesn't exist.
That shit doesn't exist. Like you getting worked up over that shit almost becomes like their crack. They like seeing they like seeing people worked up over societal ills. Sometimes it seems like
I feel like those type of issues should be. I know it's a weird concept, but we should all take votes on stuff like that and have it made up about a made up society. Like, don't make it sound like it's us. But if you made it like a video
almost
game,
presents it like a third party.
Yeah, if you put it like a video game and they're like playing these characters and be like, hey, what do you think is right? Should this person do this? For that, they would have a completely different viewpoint. Like they wouldn't make the same decision that they would if they're in that position.
Because it's all semantics.
Yeah,
like if they present situation with different characters.
Exactly. If you present it with different characters with different scenario in a different like community video game, virtual world, whatever, it would be completely different.
I just want to elaborate on like what both of you guys said about how, specifically Luis, how a lot of this started with like George Floyd and stuff. I do think though that the Black Lives Matter movement was like kind of bubbling up for a long time. Yeah. And like Trayvon Martin, I know was like a big deal.
Breonna Taylor, I believe, is another
Breonna
one.
Taylor was a huge deal. Holy shit! Like I haven't heard that name in a while. Yeah,
they're still out there free.
That story is wild. That story is pretty wild. But stories like that, even Rodney King in the 90s, at the end of the 90s, you could even go as far as saying like Emmett Till. Like, essentially, Emmett Till, he was essentially, you learned about him in like middle school, a little boy who was visiting Mississippi from Chicago and whistled at a white woman. But this is
yes, okay.
And then I believe the deputy sheriffs or
And he was lynched in public.
yeah, they
right?
lynched him and threw him in a river, and his mom had an open casket ceremony so that like the whole world could see what white supremacist terrorism looked like in the South at the time.
Pictures are horrific.
Yeah, those pictures are fucking terrifying.
Yeah, I understand about. Yeah, but it's like you said, it was
Like cut off
bubbling
his
and
genitals and stuff.
Yeah.
too. It was
Yeah,
just, it's insane.
completely degraded him. And
His face looks scary when you look at the pictures.
yeah, no, it's awful. One final question: Netflix or Hulu?
Ooh, that's tough.
I'm gonna have to go with Netflix.
You know, there's benefits to both.
They've
you
been
know?
putting out some quality content, and they're like the classic.
Yeah.
No, you're right. I feel like Hulu has like more like modern, like things that are current.
Like recent live
yeah,
TV.
like current, like
True.
current live TV, like current even
Like
shows.
sitcoms.
But fuck those commercials, am I right?
Yeah.
Like fuck those
You guys pay
commercials,
for
man.
commercials?
On Hulu?
Yeah. There's a version without commercials.
I would be too cheap to buy it even if I
It's only
did.
like $2 more.
I literally don't pay for any streaming services.
It's like,
I pay for Audible, Amazon Prime, Spotify. That's it.
Damn.
Yeah.
George, what do you pay for?
Spotify,
Okay.
Amazon Prime.
Damn.
Um,
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna say what I
that's about it.
I don't.
Right.
Yeah, I don't pay for any of the streaming services.
Yeah,
I'll
but I-
watch them with Allo though. That's
So
literally.
she's got it.
Yeah, that's that's the only way I get exposed to media
Yeah.
Same,
when I'm with Allo.
same here.
Yeah. Same. I only pay for
So-
Audible and Spotify.
Totally. I don't pay for 6 streaming services.
I pay for.
Like 8 or 10. You have to.
It's for the podcast. all
No,
right?
yeah,
It's
totally.
for
Of
Of
research.
course, of course.
You're our culture critic.
Exactly. I'm the culture critic.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's Netflix.
You know what we should?
Premium, which is like 4 TVs at once. There's Hulu.
And I have to pay for premium for multiple TVs.
My girlfriend pays for Hulu, and we pay for the one without ads, because like you said, fuck those ads. I don't have Spotify Premium, but I have YouTube Premium, which you can watch YouTube videos, and you also have access to YouTube Music. You can lock your screen while you watch YouTube.
I have the jailbroken version of that, so I just get that shit for free.
And that's it really. HBO Max. I'll have that on and off.
I fuck
like,
with
Disney,
HBO Max
Disney
pretty hard.
Plus, like I'll have that on and off. Like I'll like activate it for a month and watch what I want to watch, and then like
Out of all the streaming services, HBO Max is probably the one I find myself gravitating
this
the
last
most
year,
towards.
the fact that they're streaming the movies that are like same day in theaters, like Dune.
Yo,
I
that's really
fucking
cool.
read that
That's
book.
really cool.
In preparation for the movie, which is 36 hours long, by the way.
Dune?
Dune is not the movie. The
Oh my
book
God,
is
I was gonna say,
36
get the
hours
fuck
long.
outta
And
here.
same
Oh.
with the sequels.
The movie looks really cool.
The movie looks amazing, and it's like, dude, I don't have to go to the theaters. I can just watch it at home. And I go to the theaters. I'm a big movie guy.
I'd rather go to the theater still.
Yeah, but you're
Yeah,
still paying for more.
Yeah, I know, but just the environment of a theater, it's just
It's nice.
It's
It
But
becomes like a
there's
night
no-
out. It
there's no
becomes an
match,
event.
bro.
You also
There's
live
no
at home
match.
still.
yeah, but there's no match.
Would it be different if you like had an apartment like this?
No, I've had an apartment like this.
And you still prefer going to theaters?
Yeah,
Going to
100%.
theaters is nice, but watching it in the convenience of your home is.
Yeah. Like eating dinner right there by yourself.
Yeah.
I
And
don't know,
some
man.
wine,
Something
some
about the theaters,
vino.
man.
Something about going
Something
to
about the theaters
I
and
just
how
went to go
loud
see,
it is and the
Some
surrounds
barista
yeah.
Pinotache.
and like how
you
dark
won't be
it
able to
is.
recreate that for a while.
Yeah.
Like at home, like you'll need to have like
You have a big setup.
You gotta
Yeah.
have a setup.
100%.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not. You can't recreate it that easily in our income bracket.
Exactly. Yeah.
you
and then
you could
gotta,
probably
like,
recreate it pretty damn
you know,
easily
Exactly.
once you get to certain levels.
Right. So, boys, that's another great episode. Thank you everybody for joining us on episode 7. And next week we got a little bit of surprise for all the fans. We'll be having some guests, and guests going on forward. We'll have a few more as well. So,
When are we gonna bring on?
yeah,
our guests, you think?
negotiating, trying to figure out a time that works for both of us. Otherwise, Jay, motherfucking May. Any closing statements?
Hey, everybody have a good week.
I
Stay
like the
positive.
positivity.
Stay positive. You know, you're
I like
amazing. You're great. You're beautiful.
I like
You're
that.
loved.
Juan Legend. Always thinking about
No
it.
one likes you.
Always thinking about you. Yeah, totally. How about this? Support the United Auto Workers for Democracy GoFundMe account that are supporting the striking workers for the John Deere thing.
We'll also leave that in the description down below. And as my closing statement, lately I've been having some real stomach issues, but thankfully plums, I really recommend eating plums. Eat a plum a day.
This is common for me.
Really helps out. I mean, you're on the toilet twice as much, but yeah, eat a plum a day. Fuck eating apples a day.
I have a plum tree.
Otherwise, thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you guys next week.